The NFL is the greatest show on the planet Earth. And good morning and welcome back to FS1 after an amazing weekend. This is the Carton Show. Craig Carton with you. Thrilled to have Cody Decker as always. And my main man, Mr. Victor Cruz, former New York Giant wide receiver. It has been a minute. How you been?
It's been a while. It's been a while. I've been great, man. No complaints. Just my daughter's getting bigger and the world keeps turning. Right?
Yes, and amazingly, as you may know, all roads in the NFL lead right through Nueva York because the New York Giants are 2-0. And yes, thank God for the dysfunctional Cleveland Browns. The New York Jets steal a victory from the jaws of defeat. And we'll get into all that stuff because it really was an amazing comeback Sunday. So many games changed in the balance over the last couple of minutes. But why don't we start off by going in reverse and start with Green Bay, Chicago. We said it on Friday. I thought Green Bay would blow them out. I'm not alone in that. And that's exactly what they did. But it shows you, Victor, why a lot of times, and we're all guilty of it, we overreact to week one. Like, oh, my God, the Green Bay Packers are dead. Aaron Rodgers has no weapons to throw to anymore. And even though statistically he didn't have a big game yesterday because they ran the heck out of the ball, the Green Bay Packers are going to be just fine.
They're going to be absolutely okay. They got Aaron Rodgers, who understands how to manage his team, understands how to get his ego and his tempo out there in check with that football team. But when you have guys like Adam Jones and you got guys veteran guys that you can hand the ball off to and be secure with their gameplay and how they're going to protect the football and how they're going to get production out of those guys. I mean, it's just such a luxury. And you know, those young guys, those rookie receivers, they're a work in progress. But as the season goes on, under the Aaron Rodgers tutelage, under the, you know, who knows how much he's yelling at them in the meeting rooms and on the practice field, but they'll come around. And he's going to need them to come around in order to be successful this year.
It doesn't hurt to play a bad team in your own building. Like they made you may remember last year when he told Bears fans, "I own you." I mean, he does. There was no way the Chicago Bears were going to win that game, especially Green Bay coming in off a loss. And Justin Fields, I was shocked. What, he threw the ball 3 times the entire game. You had under 100 yards. But to me, that was yet last night's game. The first half was better. The second half, there were basically no points scored. So it wasn't great to watch. It wasn't great theater compared to a lot of the games we got. But we all do it. We overreact, and now Green Bay's sitting there 1-1. Everybody's happy again. Even Aaron Rodgers in week 1, he's throwing everybody under the bus. You don't know your assignments. You're missing blocks. You're running the wrong routes. And then with a win, even Aaron Rodgers found a way to blame himself for a bad performance. Check this out.
I mean, tonight was really about 28 and 33, getting them the football. I didn't play great, I feel like the stats look a little better than the game. The standard I set for myself is pretty high. I feel like it is attainable, and my definition of success, I feel like, rests gently on my shoulders and my ego, but I missed some throws that I should never miss.
I mean, I don't know how you turn a win into a boring snooze fest at the press conference, but he did it. And part of me thinks that, he heard some of the criticisms of throwing guys under the bus. So this was his way of saying, hey, I wasn't perfect tonight. Now, I'm not sure if that plays in a locker room or not. Yeah. He's Aaron Rodgers. He's different. Yeah. And they all know it. But I guess, listen, if I'm going to be critical of him when he throws guys under the bus, you at least have to also give him the praise when he takes ownership that he didn't have the greatest game.
Yeah, and that definitely translates in the locker room, obviously. When you're in the locker room and your quarterback takes ownership of his mistakes or the things that he could have done better or some plays that he wishes he had back, you love that. And you're going to go into the meeting room and learn from it. But there were some moments in this game where they were sloppy, uncharacteristically. Like, when a guy comes in motion and the ball snaps and hits the guy in the arm, that's the quarterback's fault. You got to time that motion up and time the cadence up so that ball is snapped when it's supposed to. So it's just little things like that it's uncharacteristic. You don't really see that out of Aaron Rodgers. But again, he said it himself, 28-33, it was their night.
Yeah,
those guys are running the ball, huge night. I mean, those guys are exceptional, hard to guard and hard to game plan for because they just do so many things well.
Yeah, well, listen, the team that Chicago beat in week 1 in a monsoon, San Francisco, winds up getting, it's interesting. There's like 2 sides to this whole situation where for some people, San Fran gets horrendous news that Trey Lance breaks his ankle and he's done for the season. But there are other people. Listen, I never root for injury because that's effed up to do that. Yeah. And, it's football. It's a violent sport. I mean, you dealt with it in your career as well.
Of course.
Trey Lance broke his ankle yesterday, and here comes the white knight. My main man, Jimmy G, who's perfect on his first drive, leads them down the field for a touchdown. You see right there. And listen, statistically, was he fantastic? No, he really never is. He also had a running touchdown later in the game. But I told you last week, Cody, that maybe San Francisco, a bunch of just evil geniuses who knew at some point someone's going to get hurt, Trey Lance. And why trade Jimmy G? Why cut Jimmy G when we're going to need Jimmy G? And he delivered the goods yesterday. And I will be honest, I hate the fact that Trey Lance got hurt, but it did make me happy to see Jimmy G come in. Don't forget, didn't take a single snap this summer. He was also rehabbing his non-throwing shoulder, and he wasn't in their plans, and he stepped in like Captain America and saved the day and showed you some quarterbacks don't need to practice. He's one of them.
I'm just reminding you, in a couple of weeks, when he underwhelms you so much in 3 weeks, you're going to have to sit here and be like, well, I miss Trey Lance as my backup because they don't have a backup now.
I don't even know who the backup is.
Exactly.
No one right now.
Exactly.
No one. It's me and you. We can go out there and be back.
By the way, I can throw it a little bit, Victor. I do have a torn labrum, and it hurts just to do that. All right, now here's what's happening, and I will say, San Francisco obviously wins the game yesterday, all well and good, and I thought they would. The Seahawks stink, Geno Smith stinks, and I thought it was going to be a blowout, regardless of who the quarterback was. Yeah. So I kind of got the game I thought I was going to get. But what's amazing to me is that we live in a world now, it seems, where there's always got to be someone blamed, even if a situation is blameless. Trey Lance got hurt because he's playing football. Yet there are people out there, and you guys will see this throughout the day today, apparently some well-respected, blue check mark on Twitter, football reporters who their take on the San Francisco situation is not, hey, great job by Jimmy being prepared to play. Hey, give San Francisco's defense credit. They stymied Seattle, blah, blah, blah. They're blaming Kyle Shanahan. Of course. And this is so crazy to me that the rhetoric out there now is that Kyle Shanahan put Trey Lance in a position to get hurt by running him in between the tackles.
Nonsense.
What?
Nonsense.
What? Kyle Shanahan even had to answer questions about it after their first win of the year. Listen to this.
Would have been better for the second four. Is that what you're implying? There's a few options on the play. It could have been a handoff. The DN went up to play. It's the exact same play we ran 3 plays before that where Debo got a 52-yarder. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's a pretty normal play. It's part of football, and it's unfortunate that he hurt his ankle on it.
Yeah.
It's very normal for him.
I feel bad that Kyle Shanahan, in which he should be celebrating a win, and obviously he's probably devastated that the kid they believe so much in got hurt and is out for the year, and they knew that, I'm sure, at halftime. He broke his ankle. But the fact that Kyle Shanahan's got to answer questions about, would you redo that play, or hey, are you taking any responsibility for the injury, is mind-blowing to me.
Mind-blowing to me. I mean, he literally just got hurt playing the game of football.
Period, stop.
They run that play 2 million times in practice. It goes seamlessly. They hit all the different options. It just so happens that in this game, unfortunately, he took a bad turn and got his ankle broken, and you turn to Jimmy G, which Kyle Shanahan should be thanking his lucky stars that Jimmy G was there to be able to carry that load and go out there and win that football game for him.
I agree. Like I said, sometimes you fall into good decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes, I'm a Jets fan, you fall into bad decisions over and over again. But at the San Francisco, I guarantee you, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan at some point last night, had a drink together and said,
deep breath.
We are the luckiest two SOBs in the world that we didn't totally foobar this entire situation with Jimmy G. But you also see a lot of times in week 2, and we'll go through a lot of the games coming up, that really good teams that lose in week 1 typically do rebound in week 2. And I think you saw that, with the 2 games we've already mentioned. Green Bay coming back and having no problem with Chicago. San Francisco even losing their starting quarterback, having no problem at all beating Seattle. To me, that is a sign of a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think guys that understand how to bounce back from losses or just bad games and trying to bounce back from that, I think that shows signs of good teams. I think also you give times and coaches to kind of see a game, right? Coaches often see a football game that their team has played in, and they're like, okay, what do we do good? What do we do bad? What can we change? What's our strong suits? You kind of see that in real time. It's hard to gauge that. You don't even get a real preseason anymore. Like,
right.
Training camp is a joke, if we're being honest. Like, they do nothing. It's 2 weeks, a couple preseason games, and then you go on to the games. And a lot of starters don't even play in the preseason. So you're really getting the first real look at your team assembled for the first time in week 1, and then you make those week 2 adjustments. That's why you see such a drastic turn from week 1 to week 2 in certain teams.
The other thing you're going to start seeing, because you played well enough to win, all of a sudden, everybody that was a Jimmy G hater, I know it's going to happen. The bandwagon, like, I'm driving it maybe, but the bandwagon is going to be long and strong for Garoppolo now.
You're not just driving it. You are the bandwagon. You are
pointing the way.
And literally, like, you are the full caravan of this bandwagon. You've been on it since day 1 of this show.
I go against the grain. I was on the Jimmy G wagon while everyone else was in love with Trey Lance.
Why?
And I told you this guy, all this guy does is win. It's it. I'm telling you. Is it pretty? Not all the time. Are his numbers gaudy? They are not.
Mm-hmm.
You could always make the argument that San Francisco has won a lot of games in spite of him, but it says something to guys like this that are in the locker room that we win when that guy plays, right?
And it's the system. I mean, credit to Kyle Shanahan in the system that he plays in, because if you put Jimmy G in any other system, I don't know if he has this type of success. I think he understands his system. Kyle Shanahan designs different plays. Obviously, when Jimmy G was in, there's a whole different play set. He's going to the other sheet when Jimmy G's the quarterback. So Kyle Shanahan knows how to coach this quarterback, and you see the successes from it.
You know, Jimmy G is not the only veteran quarterback that knows how to win. There's another guy out there. We call him Cool Mo Joe.
No, they don't.
That's right.
No one does that.
calls him.
No, we call him Cool Mo Joe.
No.
Joe, what? Yes, we do.
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love. Make your taste buds dance for $4.49.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
So, it's Friday night dinner. All of a sudden, boom, boom. The kid's like, Dad, what is that? And you, Gecko, go, roar! Huh?
It's a bit too aggressive, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, sure, rewind it. How about this? Beg your pardon, but bundling your home and car insurance could save you hundreds. And then the neighbors are like, giant gecko? Huh? Who? The little girl's like, hi, Gecko.
Well, quite the commercial.
Yeah, I know, right?
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
Yep, the camera is incredible.
Ooh,
And you'll get our best deal.
nice. But everyone should get it.
Everyone can get it.
Every new customer.
And every existing customer.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every-
iPhone.
Okay, my work here is done. Everyone gets the best deal on every iPhone. It's amazing.
Everyone gets AT&T's best deals on every iPhone. Get the new iPhone 14 Pro on us.
Are you coming for my job?
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Yes. I'll get you the file.
Sounds intense.
Clients. What do you do?
Retired?
Tech?
Nah, Army.
Huh. Check your spam folder.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And we're the Antonellis.
Do good, eat good.
That's our mission.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit, so our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. We use our 2% cash back to help cover our employees' healthcare costs.
That's how we take care of our most valuable asset.
Our people. It may sound cheesy,
but we like it that way.
What's in your wallet?
Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
We capture lots of data. With Fiverr, we were able to find the right software developer to help gather all that data and put it into the right system. I was able to save time and money and spend more time growing my business.
Transform your business today. Fiverr.
Juliana, Big Mac, no pickles, extra special sauce. And Jimena, quarter pounder with cheese, extra pickles, no onions.
Thanks, Dad.
You got it.
Buy one favorite like a Big Mac and get another for just $1. Right now at McDonald's.
You know, it says out of workshop for a reason.
So sorry to bother you, boss, but they moved the World Cup to the holidays.
Wait, like the actual World Cup?
It's a big deal.
Yeah, but that's my time to shine. Get Blitzen on the phone. I got to get back up there right now. I gotta go.
With miles of cardio, awesome classes, and rockstar trainers, Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Join Crunch for $1 to enroll. Offer ends 9/30.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 brand in dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Lease a new 2023 Sportage LX for $279 a month.
With miles of cardio, awesome classes, and rockstar trainers, Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Join Crunch for $1 to enroll. Offer ends 9/30.
Yes. Grown men acting like children. Everybody cheering the oldest guy in the room. Jumping up and down. That's right. I wore it to work today. And then I was told I'm not allowed to wear it. I don't know why. This will see the show again later today. Welcome back. It's the Carton Show. Victor Cruz, former New York Giants wide receiver. Cody Decker, of course, always here. And yeah, hey, all roads lead through New York, or New Jersey in this case, as the New York Jets come back with the most improbable win maybe in the franchise's history. The New York Giants are 2-0, their best start in literally almost a decade, and my head is going to explode. So why don't we start with the Jets, since we just showed you Joe Flacco coming into the locker room and bear-hugging Robert Saleh, their head coach. According to Next Gen Stats, okay, it is the most improbable win since they started tracking games back in 2016, and it defies all logic. It proves once again that there is always a city and a team worse than yours. And that city is always Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, they also had the leprechaun in the middle of the field for the first time, 0-1.
Wow. Yeah, they're 0-1 with Brownie the Elf. Yeah. 0-1. Well, here's what's amazing about it. First, Corey Davis gets wide open, 65-yard touchdown. Flacco saw him, makes a good pass. All right, then you have the onside kick. What people don't recognize is that's Amari Cooper on Cleveland. He's their best wide receiver, got the best hands, who doesn't make the play. And what a lot of people are going to start talking about predates the Davis touchdown, predates the onside kick, and happened before the drive down the field where their new rookie sensation catches the game-winning touchdown pass, and it's the Chubb touchdown run. And there's people now being critical that if Chubb just takes a knee, and it's a great run, by the way, if he goes out of bounds or takes a knee there on the cutback, the Jets are out of timeouts. Cleveland takes 3 knees, and the game is over. And there's a great story out there right now that the New York Jets wide receiver coach, who formerly played Miles Austin, this is now becoming a legend of this big win, that he looked to some of the guys on the sideline, and when Chubb scored the touchdown, he told guys, they just gave us a chance to win.
Wow.
Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. This offense stinks, and we're going to score 2 touchdowns in 1:30, and that's what we did.
I'll tell you what, man, I've been to Amari Cooper, too. You're nervous. Like, there's no... Yeah. And it was a misdirection onside kick, too.
Yes.
It was 21 way and then came back to... And you're kind of like, it's like it's coming hot, too, you know? So it's just a tough position to be in as a receiver. No matter how good your hands are, that ball fluttering like this, coming at your ankles, you don't know what to do, okay? There's no plan for that football. But, yeah, man, I think it's all hypothetical, too. You never know what's going to happen in that situation. Let's say Nick Chubb takes a knee. You just don't know. You know what I mean? So it's just tricky being a Jet and understanding how they got that win. It's just an incredible, completely busted coverage by the Browns on that one pass
the
to Corey
Davis touchdown, right?
And then an absolute dart by your guy Joe Cool at the end there.
Joe Mo Cool.
I mean,
Joe Mo,
an absolute dart.
Yeah, and listen, Flacco right now, amazingly, is third in the NFL in passing yards. He's got the most completions in football, and every Jet fan is dying for Zach Wilson to come back as quickly as possible. But that's the kind of game the Jets usually lose.
Yeah.
Like, they would be on the other side of it. They would have blown the lead. Yeah, we'd gone 13 straight September games without a win. And listen, I don't want to overstate it because they've got an 0-2 Cincinnati Bengal team that's really ticked off, who's now lost back-to-back games on a kick late, which we'll get to in a second. But we get to enjoy something good in our lives, which we don't normally get to enjoy. So I want to give the Jets credit. Yeah, listen, you give up 30 points to the Browns, you should never win, nor should you ever give up 30 points to the Browns. But if someone had told me that the New York Jets were going to score 2 touchdowns in a minute 30 to win the game, also a missed extra point there by the Browns stud kicker, and here we are.
Yep.
The Jets are 1-1, and the Super Bowl is still on the table.
No, it's not. But as a Jet fan, are you that hug with Saleh right there,
Yes.
Flacco? Is that better than the hug of Iceman and Maverick at the end of Top Gun to you?
Well, that's a tough one. That's one of my favorite
early
movies.
to tell. Too early
And
to
they
tell.
did kill the bogeys and the enemy, but that was fake, like wrestling. So this was much, much better. This is also two guys that dealt with it the last week, right? Yeah. Robert Saleh with his ridiculous press conference telling the media and the fan base he's keeping receipts. Joe Flacco, who had a terrible Week 1 game against Baltimore. That's what that is. That's a culmination of two guys who've been through the ringer pretty good.
And there's just something to say about guys that, athletes specifically, when their backs are against the wall, they're coming through some adversity from the week before, and how they just step up to the challenge. A lot of those guys usually play better. It's kind of the basketball thing, right? Chris Paul had a bad game one time. He comes back the next game and has like 50 points.
Right.
Like, it's that competitor mindset. And shout out to the Jets putting a game plan together and making some plays when they needed it to win the ball game. And that's what it boils down to. That dart over the middle that we just saw, that seam ball was an incredible pass.
Yep.
And then seeing the busted coverage to Corey Davis for the 66-yarder was incredible. And the onside kick was teach tape.
Yeah, and listen, and there's something to be said, and I know I'm going to be guilty of overstating it, of never quitting, of not rolling over and dying. And if that's the takeaway from this game, then I'll give the Jets credit for that, because there's a lot to be critical of in the Jets when they didn't play very good football in giving up 30 points to the Browns. Meanwhile, their crosstown rivals, the New York Giants, are right now, for the moment, in first place in the NFC.
Say it a little louder, Carton. I don't think they heard you.
The New York Giants are in first place pending tonight's Eagles game, of course. But 2-0, first time since 2016. And listen, you know better than I, because I'm sure you still talk to some of the guys there. It is a different feeling. Listen, winning helps all that. Their offense has not really clicked yet, but Daniel Jones did not make the big mistake yesterday. Used his feet and his arm to make key plays, get first downs when it mattered. Saquon Barkley's a different dude this year than he was the last 2 years coming off the knee injury. And Brian Daboll is just different. Like all the things I didn't like about Joe Judge and McAdoo before him, Daboll is different. Like, there was a moment in yesterday's game, and I wonder how you'd react to it. Okay. And we saw it in Week 1 also. Danny Jones threw a bad interception, and Daboll's in his ear. Well, yesterday he was mad at the line. I think it was the offensive line wasn't protecting, and he brought him over and ripped him a new one. And I think guys ultimately, while you don't want to be embarrassed, respect that.
Yeah, I think because he built that during the practice, during training camp. He's built that equity with this football team. I think they love him because of how real he is, and he listens to them, and they have a really good time practicing. There's music on the. I mean, I walked into practice during training camp, and I hear there's a DJ on the field.
Really?
There's like energy. When Joe Judge was the coach, it was like a library. Like, you could literally go out there, and I was scared to talk. I was whispering to guys. Like, at practice, I'm like, is it okay to talk during this section? Because it just felt tight, And Daboll is there, and everybody's loose and relaxed, and the coaching staff kind of embodies that. But they take care of their business in the meeting rooms. They take care of their business between those lines when they're supposed to, and they're just playing this free, relaxed football, and it shows, man. But they're getting these gritty wins, and I've been sweating watching these games. But when Daniel Jones doesn't turn the ball over, takes care of the football, makes the right decisions with the ball, Saquon Barkley making those opportunistic runs, they're just a different football team right now. But we're going to need more production out of these receivers and out of these playmakers, because it's not, we're going to see 8, 9-man boxes from week in and week out now, the way Saquon's been playing, and those guys on the outside have to make plays.
Yeah, apparently Kenny Galladay really didn't play at all yesterday, and they were asked about that. And he's a huge price tag veteran from last year. And Dable said, listen, we told him before the game that he wasn't going to play a lot. He handled it like a veteran. Of course, he's ticked off, and he rolled out of the locker room early because he didn't want to deal with the questions.
Also a veteran move.
Yeah, right.
Also a veteran
if
move.
I can get dressed before you come in, I ain't got to talk to you.
Yeah, done.
But he's upset. He's a proud man. Of course he's upset. But what Dable said after the game was, listen, he knew going into the game he wasn't going to get much run in the game because, for whatever reason, we felt the other guys presented different problems, in that game that he didn't bring to the table, and that's fine. I think as long as you know going in, right?
I need to know what it is, though. Like, is it production? Is he just not doing well in practice? Is he not knowing his assignments? Because, again, that's a heavy price tag to have just sitting on your sideline, taking up space. You want to see what he brings to the table. You want to see what type of player he is. Can he make those big plays that we've seen him make in Detroit all those years? Can he bring that to the Giants, which is what I thought coming in? I was ecstatic to have this guy as a receiver.
He was the number one free agent
wide
I was
receiver. We're good. We got our number one guy, and we can make it play.
They won without him, and listen, you beat Baker Mayfield, you got to play your asses off. That's the best. My Baker stock's going down.
Way down.
It's exploding in front of me. The big Monday night game, which we have plenty of time to get to later this week, but you have the 1-1 Cowboys now coming to New York to play the Giants in a Monday night game, and that place is going to be a zoo. So I guess my early question for you, and I will hold you to it, I suppose.
Of course you will.
Are the Giants are they good enough now after 2 weeks? Is this team for real, when I say real, a chance to win the East?
Well, I think so, and I think because of what I've seen from the defense and special teams and being opportunistic and creating turnovers and getting after the quarterback, which they could do some more of, especially when Thibodeau comes back. They get some guys back off an injury. But I think they're in a good position right now, and I think they're ascending, which is a good thing. I think they've squeezed out these couple wins, and they're ascending and trending in the right direction at least. But this is going to be a huge test for them. Obviously, Cooper Rush and the Cowboys coming in, they got some momentum. They got some energy there because of this past weekend and how they played, but they have to have some trepidation going in, but I think they're ascending and heading in the right direction, which is all we could. Listen, these past 10 years have been rough, guys.
Yes.
Okay? Some ascension, trending in the right. These are all words that I haven't used in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm using these words and I'm smiling after a Giants win and I'm talking to Carton, who's a lovely Jets fan, and he hates this stuff right now. I'm great. I feel good about it.
Listen, I'm in a good mood.
There you go.
You guys can win as much as you want as long as I win as much as I want.
Exactly.
And the Jets stealing, thank God for Cleveland. I told you, all good things usually go to die in Cleveland. In this case, the Jets went there and found life because they're 90 seconds away from being 0-2, and Robert Saleh's on the hot seat because you've got the 0-2 Bengals next week, and that is not going to be easy. So thank you, Cleveland, simply for being who you are, losers.
Oh my God.
I lived there for a year. I've got the right to say it. Loser. Losers. Now, another guy that was this close from being a loser and an 0-2 starter, down 20 points, and then Kyler Murray said, I'm going to show you why they gave me $150 guaranteed, and I don't need a playbook to do it. We'll get into that next right here on The Carton Show.
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This is an SOS from Novaport.
Everything is disappearing.
Our outpost on Earth, Sept is in danger.
Hey, Quill, this thing is so broken.
Help the galaxy before...
Quill, you seeing this? Quill, Well, you heard the lady. Get to Epcot. It's Save the Galaxy time. Again.
The redesigned Corona Slim can, named after yours truly. Slim is one of my old nicknames. You better ask somebody. Might as well call them Snoop cans. You like that?
When you have auto glass damage, choose Safe Flight. We can come to you and replace your windshield.
Here you go.
Wow, thank you. Bye. Bye. Don't wait. Schedule now.
Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful moments of your life. But it doesn't have to be. HomeLight is here to change that. HomeLight combines the best technology and agents onto one modern real estate platform. Join the millions of people who have used HomeLight to make buying and selling simple. It takes 2 minutes, and best of all, it's free. Buying and selling has never been more simple. Start today at homelight.com.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So, how do you show him that you care?
When I haven't heard from him in a while, constant contact, automatically send a text.
I've never been in a relationship with a gardener like this.
Landscape architect. Yeah. Want to go spread some mulch?
Yeah, let's go.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or active psoriatic arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that tackles pain, stiffness, swelling. For some, Rinvoq significantly reduces RA and PSA fatigue. It can stop irreversible joint damage. And Rinvoq can leave skin clear or almost clear in PSA. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Ask your rheumatologist about Rinvoq Relief. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer, I love it, and 200 team member, oh yes, certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Is that KFC's two-piece drum and thigh combo?
Yep.
Is it juicy?
Uh-huh.
Is it creamy?
You know it.
Is it flaky?
Yes.
And it's only $6? That's a real steal of a deal of a meal. Wink. KFC's two-piece drum and thigh combo is just $6.
After fighting their way to become #1 contenders, the Brawling Brutes will challenge the Usos to the undisputed tag team titles. An all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Fox Bet Super 6 takes over college football with 3 free-to-play contests. Download the Super 6 app and make your picks for a free chance to win.
All right, Thursday, there we go. It's a special baseball night in America on Fox. Aaron Judge right now sitting on 59 home runs, so maybe that's the night. He leads the Yankees against their hated rival, the Boston Red Sox. Or you get Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves battling for the National League East against the Mets, but they play Bryce Harper and the Phillies in that game. And it all begins at 6:30 Eastern on Fox. And yeah, we're living historical times baseball-wise because Aaron Judge had 2 more yesterday, so he's closing in on that Roger Maris record. And, of course, that's now must-see TV. As that goes down, we'll, of course, bring it to you here on FS1. You know, it's something that went down yesterday. This is, of course, Victor Cruz, and that's Cody Decker. I'm Craig. We appreciate you being here today. Great day of NFL football yesterday, and among the great comebacks, and there were a bunch of them, was the Arizona Cardinals beating Your Las Vegas. What's the look for? Yeah, you should be upset.
Disgusted.
Up 20 points or damn near 20 points. And Kyler Murray decided, I'm throwing that blank playbook out the window, and I'm going to be me. And a couple 2-point conversions. And the Cardinals come all the way. Yeah.
Right.
So let's so much to break down here.
Insane 2-point conversion.
So I think this is the first 2-point conversion where he actually runs 83 yards.
I've done this in Madden, Craig. This is the only time
It's the only
he's
time.
done something similar to this.
Yeah, and
in
probably
Madden.
when he was like 4th and 30 and you're supposed to punt.
And Madden 2004 when Michael Vick was playing. Like that was the only time I was able to do something like that.
So he converts the 2-point conversion there. The Raiders obviously keep giving the Cardinals the ball back. And then this would have been the story of the week in Arizona. They score the touchdown, and now they need the 2-point conversion to tie, okay? And they get called for delay a game. And I'm sitting there yelling at the TV, how can you be called for delay a game?
So bad.
And then somehow, some way, Kyler Murray makes a throw. There's no way he sees that receiver coming across the back of the end zone. And it was kind of like throw it in hope. And obviously they converted and they come all the way back. And then they get the fumble recovery, which they return for a touchdown. And now you've got the Raiders sitting at 0-2, and the Cardinals kind of saving some face, getting to 1-1.
Yeah, I actually think the opposite on that pass, that 2-point conversion in the end zone at the end there. That was an absolute NFL elite level pass in the back of that end zone, an absolute dart that he had to throw low and away so A.J. Green can go down and get it. I mean, I was blown away by that pass. But in general, I mean, there was a point in the game where the Raiders didn't get the ball for 30 minutes. Derek Carr hadn't touched the field for 30 minutes. From the end of the fourth quarter into overtime, he didn't touch the ball for 30 minutes. So it was just like, as long as you're able to keep that quarterback, keep them iced, not let Devontae get out there and make plays on you, they were doing what they needed to do. But Kyler Murray just proved why they gave him the money, why he is what he is, why he can go out here, take it back 5 more yards on a 2-point conversion for whatever reason.
How do you take a delay game?
It almost felt like they wanted to do that. Like, oh, we need some more room. Like, it's too tight up there. Let's back it up and figure this thing out. But there was some elite level passing and playmaking, sheer playmaking ability by Kyler Murray on that drive. It was insane.
And by the way, the game tying score was an 18-play, 73-yard drive. Good defense you got there, Coach.
Thanks. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be a Raider. It's embarrassing to be a Raider fan, and I do it every single. And it's a choice, Craig.
Yeah.
I choose to be this.
And then, of course, they wind up fumbling the game away.
Yes, they did.
Just ugly. Ugly. Listen, last week we told you want to avoid the O's and 2, right? If you're 0-2, you have like an 11% chance. There's the fumble, by the way. Bang. Ball loose, and the Cardinals take it to the house. And that's how the game ended, so who knows if he doesn't fumble there, if the Raiders actually drive down and could possibly win the game.
That was the second time he fumbled in that drive alone.
Yes.
But then the same guy hit him twice. I mean, Isaiah Simmons was absolutely playing like out of his mind this game and was just a ball hawk every time that ball was in the air or whoever had the football, he was going there with bad intentions.
Yeah, Hunter Renfrow fumbled a couple plays earlier, and their tight end fell on it, I believe.
Yeah.
So 2 fumbles on one drive. You even see the red marker there where do we have to get to kick the game-winning kick, right?
They're
right on the number. But helmet off. Cardinals win, and now everyone can lay off the Kingsbury can't coach. Kyler Murray's overrated, and the Cardinals stink. They don't stink. They're pretty damn good, and that's without D-Hop.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons too, man. And it's something to be said about, I was watching this game and I was kind of paying more attention to Kyler Murray's mannerisms, right? Because I'm like, let me see if he's made any adjustments to his mannerisms and his body language, which was so talked about in the offseason and last year. And he still kind of has those body language things. He still kind of has those kind of tough moments, but I think that's just his personality. I think he wants to win so bad, and he wants his teammates to know he wants to win. He wants his players to be in the right positions to make the right plays. And in his playmaking ability is what shows you how much he cares. I mean, this guy was eluding guys that feel like they're double his size and just making plays like this on 2-point conversions and different things. Like his sheer ability and knack to want to win a football game, to me, supersedes some of the mannerisms and some of the bad things that you may see on the football field.
And to me, he's one of those guys, like you brought up Michael Vick, in a Madden reference, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys where he's so special athletically. I think sometimes if you try to box a guy like that in by, hey, listen, run this exactly this way, you're not taking advantage of an ability he has that most guys don't have. Now, listen, he needs to know the plays, he needs to know assignments and where to go and all that stuff. But once you start dictating, your instinct out of the game, I think it kills a kid like that, and you kind of got to let him be him, albeit within the confines of an offense, but you got to let a guy like that be a guy like that.
Yeah, I think he has to understand when the play calls for timing, like when it's a 3-step, I need to hit my guy right now. This is a down and distance. We need to be opportunistic in this position. And he needs to understand when he needs to go sit back and make plays like he did all day yesterday. So,
I love it.
So that's the contrast.
I can watch a guy like that play all day and night, especially when they're beating your Raiders. 0-2, how you like me now?
We were popping bottles at halftime.
Yeah.
Greg. Literally popping bottles of champagne on the field at halftime.
That's what happens when you put a nightclub in a stadium.
True.
I think that's what
Listen,
happens.
your fan base is awesome. I'm not knocking the Raider fan base, but not the brightest people in the world. And that now includes us, or me at least, because I'm still not a Tua guy. And Tua did something yesterday that has only happened twice in the Dolphins' storied career, or at least history. And that's throw 6 tutties in a game where tink tinks, as I was told by James Jones. You guys call him in the locker room. You ever heard that before?
Just James Jones called.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. First time hearing tink tinks.
2 through 6 of them. And you want to talk about a tale of 2 games, or 2 halves at least. Baltimore comes out, house on fire, and it looks like they're the best team in the AFC. Miami doesn't belong on the same field with them. And then all of a sudden it dawned on Miami and Mike McDaniels, their head coach, listen, nobody can cover Tyreek Hill. So just Tyreek Hill, or just run deep, and I'll find you. He underthrew him on 2 touchdowns, but it didn't matter because he was so wide open. And listen, I'm still not a Tua guy, but well done, man. I mean, how can you knock what this guy did?
He threw 6 touchdowns yesterday. He scored 28 points in the 4th quarter. What does the guy have to do to gain your approval?
I'm a Jet fan, so a lot. Like, I don't know. There's something about, like, he's one of those guys that I am dead wrong on. I'm not. There's no pride and ownership when you're wrong. I want to be clear. He is proving me wrong week after week after week. I don't think he's got the strongest arm. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback. But my man led a comeback for the ages. Down 3 touchdowns in the second half. He throws for 6. He makes plays. And, tip of the cap to Tua and the Dolphins, because it's funny, the Ravens beat the Jets in week 1. And I could write that off on, well, how good are the Ravens really? Because maybe the Jets just aren't very good. To put a 40 burger on the Ravens and to come back down 3 touchdowns, I don't know if it says more about the Ravens or if it says more about the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And it's funny because as good as Tua played yesterday, I'm still not all the way there. There's just something, and I think that's what you're talking about. There's just something about him that you're just not ready to put all your eggs in that basket just yet. And that's the thing. I think it's either consistency or getting off to a better start, having a better, first half, just kind of putting it all together. But there's just something about Tua that doesn't let me be like, okay, I'm betting the house on this guy. I think that's the thing.
But he'll keep, I'm sorry, Cody, he keeps disproving us, so good for him. Go ahead.
Is it the Jimmy G thing? Is it the system that he's in? Is it the fastest receivers in the NFL that he currently has?
I don't know, but they've won like 10 of their last 11 games with him at quarterback. Like, at some point, we have to acknowledge the kid can play and play at a very, very high level. And maybe having McDaniels there will ultimately be really good for him, because he's, in theory, we haven't seen it yet, though, a great offensive mind. He had a great line after the game, McDaniels did. He said, I told the guys it'd be good to deal with some adversity. But I think they took me too literally, because we don't need that much adversity. We don't want any of that, like that kind of adversity at all. And, when a guy throws 6 touchdown passes, who's going to be his automatic hype man after the game? Well, the guy that gets to catch a lot of those touchdown passes. Here's some Tyreek on the field. Go ahead.
For all, you ain't even got to ask me no question on that. For all the haters out there, man, who saying Tua can't do this, can't be that, I really hope you soon jump on his bandwagon, man, because not only is Coach McDaniels going to need a wheelbarrow, he also going to need Tua going to need a wheelbarrow after the season to tote his money, his boatload of money, and also his cojones.
Listen, I wish I needed a wheelbarrow to carry around that money and my cojones. But by the way, just remember, Tyreek, you've now used the wheelbarrow line twice in 2 weeks, so you need another line. You need another method of carrying cash.
The Brinks truck is coming next week.
The Brinks truck is coming. The Brinks truck is coming. And remind me, a little bit later on the show, we're going to go down the road of quarterbacks looking for the Brinks truck of money, and whether the things that happened yesterday might make a certain guy in Baltimore want to sign his name on the dotted line. That's coming up in a second. Cody's got a couple things, though, we might have missed from the weekend. What do you got?
First things first, listen, I know you say baseball is boring a lot.
It is.
And objectively, sometimes I agree with you, but I think this one child has figured out a way to make baseball the best game in the world. And if you take a look, he played a T-ball game, takes a hack, and just takes out this kid. This is objectively a better sport. I freely admit this.
That is so much better. Tackle baseball.
Yes.
I like it. And here's the deal. The father of the kid hitting loves it.
Of course.
The father of the kid standing by the pitcher's mound is very upset. But I'd like to make a note. When I see Rob Manfred for lunch today, I'm going to tell him, add tackling to baseball.
And I'm all for it. I am all for it.
Of course you are. You know, make it all the way.
I did make it all the way.
Okay.
Technically.
Yes.
All right, well, how about this? We have a kicker problem, and you being a former NFL kicker that you are, or so you claim.
No, I've made some kicks, just not in an NFL game.
Well, you sure as hell can't make this kick that this guy makes. This guy makes a practically full yard. He makes himself his own place kicker, and then puts it straight through the uprights. This is off the charts.
Wow. Yeah, that's just a guy who spends a lot of time by himself. That's all that is. Like, you can work hard and perfect your art, but the fact he's got no shirt on, come on, man.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
No shirt on.
Dude, if you had that body, you would never rock a shirt on this show ever.
True, and I will say this. I wouldn't mind the Jets trying that guy out because I still don't believe in Greg the Legend.
I used to see Odell Beckham Jr. used to do this in practice all the time.
Come on.
Literally just like that, with a shirt on.
Now, the word on Odell was that he was a better soccer player as a kid than he was a football player.
Yeah, I believe it all.
But he could do that kind of thing?
100%. He'll spin it, and then he'll kick it from 40, 35 yards out, and it'll be a dart. Yeah.
By the way, Odell was at the Tampa-New Orleans game yesterday, rocking the ring on his middle finger because the ring's just too damn big to wear on any other finger but your thumb, and Tom Brady saw him.
Okay.
So Tom Brady comes over to the side of the field, and they dap it up, they hug it out, and Brady said to him, "None of my receivers are healthy. Can you play?" So Odell's a genius, right? Odell Beckham was at the opening game to get the ring with the Rams against the Bills, and you don't. By the way, he did not go to the New Orleans-Tampa game just to watch another football game.
Not at all.
That was to whisper in Tom Brady's ear, as soon as my knee is good, I'll let you know.
Hey, buddy. Heard you need
I'm going for number 2.
Heard you need one. He's showing them clips like, this is me working out yesterday. Look how good I look.
I'm going for number 2. You got one more in there?
One more. Okay, you hear about exit velocity in a lot of sports. You hear it in tennis, you hear it in baseball. What about volleyball, Craig?
No, I don't.
There is some exit velocity on this shot directly in the face. Right there. That is like just a snapback. That person clearly has whiplash.
Yikes.
But there is a part of this video that's my favorite part, and that's the coach on the right. Guy in the white shirt, no reaction
Unfazed.
whatsoever. That is just let the troops die.
It's a concussion.
I don't even know what that is. What? The best thing is, it looks like, I know the video doesn't go out, like she gets right up. So I hope she's okay, and I hope she got right up, but that is a spike to the face. And so I stay out of trouble. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm just going to leave it right there. Speaking of Tom Brady meeting Odell Beckham on the sideline, Saints-Bucks going into the game. Tom Brady, as the Bucks quarterback, was 0-4. He wanted things to be different, and they were. We'll go over that game right after this.
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love. Make your taste buds dance for $4.49.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Let's fly away.
Discover sound that can truly move you in the 2022 Grand Wagoneer. Awarded Best Driver Appeal by J.D. Power.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on the all-new Wagoneer Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. Go to Wagoneer.com to find a Wagoneer dealer near you.
There's no way, Chowder. Yo, you gotta be kidding me.
Downright amazing.
Unbelievable.
That is what you call a wicked shot.
Rack them up, Chi-Town.
Old Trapper Beefs. Tough snacks.
Out here, you gotta be tough. My truck, my crew, they're tough. Old Trapper taught me the value of tenderness.
Old Trapper. What's your beef?
Fur, you won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you. And for kids, try allergist-recommended non-drowsy children's Allegra.
This just in. A giant robot has landed downtown.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, guys. This is just my workout stuff.
We know you're the Green Hawk.
Everyone knows.
What? That's bananas.
You're still wearing your mask, dude.
If you have a secret identity, you need to keep it secret. And if you want to save by bundling home and car insurance, you need Geico.
I'm not the Green Hawk.
Delivery for the Green Hawk?
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
I will bring it to him.
It's one of the games of the year, week 3. It might be the last time we ever see Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady.
Let's go! 2 of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game, going head-to-head.
It's a legacy type of game.
All day, just like that!
I hope it's an absolute fireworks.
The NFL, Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 57.
With the Home Depot's lowest prices of the season, it's time to take your bath from start to tiled, to installed, to sealed, to finished. Shop our biggest bath savings of the season right now at the Home Depot.
Fiverr freelancers developed my app exactly as I envisioned it. All I did was log on, I found freelancers, I picked the one that would fit my budget and the one that had great reviews. Join Fiverr today and get something going.
GoDaddy Payments offers fast and secure payments for customers at the lowest transaction fees. So you can keep more of the money you make and continue to grow your business. If you've got it, we've got you. Start today at GoDaddy.com/payments.
If I would have kept making only the minimum payments on my credit cards, my debt would have taken me 47 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief negotiates with your creditors to reduce the amount you owe.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by about 40%.
And you could be debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months. Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to find out how you can become debt-free.
Nobody does anything perfectly the first time, or the second, even the third. We learn from mistakes. But when it comes to retirement planning, who can afford mistakes? Smart Asset can help you avoid those unpleasant mishaps with a free guide, The 7 Crucial Mistakes of Retirement Planning. We also match you with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors who can help you achieve your retirement goals. Using Smart Asset is free with no obligation. Discover what others learned the hard way at smartasset.com.
This is Fubo TV. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. Watch multiple games at once with Multiview. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Remember those good old college days when it just didn't matter what you did or who you did it with? So these are a bunch of kids enjoying the Washington Huskies football game, and this is what's called LARPing, which I just learned is an acronym for live action role playing.
Awesome.
We used to call that porn. But now it's this.
That's a new one for me.
That's fine. Take your shirt off, take out a sword. But that's the beauty of being a kid, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's nice to see something good happening in the Pac-12 this
sure.
LARPing.
LARPing. Wow. I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
Another guy that was LARPing this weekend was Tom Brady. He was pretending to be every parent sick and tired of their kids' iPad use this weekend, which we're going to show you here in a second. But listen, they were 0-4 with Brady as the Tampa Bay quarterback against the Saints, and it started off bad again. They were shut out for the first half. They were down 3-0, and then to be fair, the Buck defense really took the game over with like 19 turnovers, and you got enough from Tom Brady, you got enough from Fournette for Tampa to actually win the game by double digits, 20-10. So they're 2-0. but it's a unique 2-0 for Tom Brady in that Tom Brady's stats, not that he cares at this point of his career, are not great. He was held under 220 passing yards in both games this year. He only has 400 total yards passing, which is the fewest he's had in almost a decade, but they're 2-0. And they beat a team that historically they don't play well against with Tom Brady as their quarterback. There's also this weird kind of, it's almost like rival gangs in a weird way, where when these two teams get together, there's going to be a fight, and Mike Evans is going to hit somebody from behind and drop him to the ground. And just watch this. This happens again. So Brady's drawn with one of the members of New Orleans secondary. Mike Evans comes in, as he did, I think, a year ago. Same damn thing happened. And there was a big scrum. And I'll tell you this. Every quarterback in the league should want to be protected and defended like the way Tampa protects Tom Brady.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you want out of your team. Obviously, there's going to be some suspensions from this and things like that, and you never want to see guys missing time. But as a teammate, as Tom Brady, as the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I feel great in knowing that my team has my back no matter what. But obviously, Mike Evans is an important cog in that wheel of that team and what they do and how they execute their offense. And they're going to need him down the stretch, especially the way Tom Brady's been playing and the way he has been carrying on and hasn't been playing at his optimal level.
It's just so stupid,
they're going to need him.
Like, I listen, there's bad blood. I get it. I get bad blood. I even respect bad blood. Not everybody, like, we have this weird thing now where we believe everybody has to get along with everybody. You don't.
You don't. No.
It's okay not to like certain people, but that was just stupid. And Mike Evans has been around long enough to know better, because the only thing that happened was it was verbal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you suck. Hey, I got you on that play. Hey,
hand gestures, whatever.
It.
That's it. But I love it, man. I love the energy. I love just like, I feel like in a world where football has gotten soft, I think, coming after your teammate, coming to the defense of your teammate, obviously we don't want it to this level. Suspensions will be carried down and you're going to miss key time with your team. But I just love the energy of, like, this is my team, and talk to us with some respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And we've done this for years now.
There's something else happening in these Tampa games that I find objectionable, and I just wonder your take on it. Because I'm not sure. I think you were, gone from New York when this happened, but regardless of that. So I'm watching some of this game yesterday. Todd Bowles is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was the former Jet head coach. He was their defensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl. He is their head coach. And yet the entire game I'm watching yesterday, Bruce Arians is on the sideline. Now, he doesn't have the headset on or any of that, but Bruce Arians is on the sideline. I find that very disrespectful to Todd Bowles, and I can't figure out why the guy that was the coach, who I get is still with the organization in some type of front office capacity, Bruce Arians being on that sideline is confusing, and I think disrespectful.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially now, it's too soon, I think, is what it is. Now, if it's a couple seasons from now, 5, 6 years, 7 years, and you understand he's still working with the team to some capacity, he's doing some things like that, that I understand. But the fact that you were just there, and the team still loves you. It's not like you left because, you retired or you didn't want to play anymore, or you're coming off of one of the best years and one of the best seasons that you've had as a coach, and you're just not there anymore, but you're on the sideline.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It's tricky.
It looks weird.
It looks weird.
I think it's confusing to the guys. I think it undermines Todd Bowles. I'm not for a minute suggesting that's why their offense hasn't played as well. Their wide receiving core is all banged up. Their offensive line isn't great just yet. And maybe Brady's just, a little bit slower than he was. They also did announce, just to wrap up a thought on Tampa, that Tom Brady for the rest of this season is going to be given Wednesdays off. So he's going to be on the injury report every week. He is not injured.
Must be nice.
But he now has every Wednesday off. So normally, guys come in Monday, you watch tape, you get treatment. Tuesday, everybody's got off. He also now gets Wednesday off as well. And they did ask Todd Bowles about that. And what is he supposed to say? He's earned it. It happens sometimes.
Exactly.
He certainly knows the playbook, and he's Tom Brady, and he's my best shot at winning a Super Bowl.
I think that usually happens, throughout the course of the season, maybe later on in the season. Not week 3, okay?
Right.
Like week 3, we're still trying to figure out who we are as a team. We're still trying to build some continuity. Obviously, Tom Brady and those receivers need it in that offense.
Sure.
So to take Wednesdays off, which is not the most important practice day of the week, but an important day. It's the first day. You want to get off to a good start. You want to execute the right way. You want to get your teammates involved and make them feel like they're involved in the game plan early on. And for you to miss that first day of the week, that first practice day, I think is essential. I just think about hey, Coach Coughlin. Listen, man, my back's really been acting up. My ankle's really just shot. I need Wednesdays off. He'd be like, what?
How red would his face get in that moment?
He wouldn't even respond. He'd be like, go, get out of here.
Would he have given Eli Wednesdays off?
No. He would not have given Eli. First of all, Eli wouldn't have been dumb enough to even ask for them off. Let's establish that. But no, he truly believes, he was a guy that if you didn't practice on Thursdays, you weren't going to play anyway. Like, if you didn't practice by Thursday, Wednesday, he was like, okay, I understand if you're still dealing with some injuries from the Sunday game, I get it. But if you didn't practice Thursday, which is an important day, third down, goal line, your execution day, you weren't going to play that Sunday.
Got it. And real quick, just because I teased it, I want you to see Tom Brady. He was ticked. Listen, they got shut out in the first half. And by the way, they only scored 3 points in the third quarter also. But Brady was ticked. He's yelling and screaming at his offensive line. He's yelling and screaming at his receivers. And then he takes it out on the iPad? What do we call that?
The Microsoft Surface.
The Surface. The Microsoft Surface.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Bang! Yes, listen, every mom and dad out there has done that at some point for a much different reason, but he is living. So if anyone thought for a minute that guy still doesn't care, he proved to you the compete level's still there.
He's just too old to be reacting like this. Are we not worried about, Tom Brady being he's gonna bust a vessel in his neck. He keeps yelling like that. But the team typically responds well when he yells and screams like that.
It could just be that he found his kid's LARPing video on there and he threw the iPad.
Going back to that, huh?
I'm just saying, LARPing's a thing.
Going back to that. Although if you heard Mark Sanchez this weekend, he said kids usually clear out the memory on their computer.
Yes, he did.
The old cache clear. The old clear the cache.
Clear the cache. Clear the cache. All right. I tease this because I think it's an interesting conversation from the quarterback standpoint, knowing that Trey Lance broke his ankle and he's out for the year, and obviously we wish him the best, and no reason why he can't recover from that and resume his NFL career. But, Lamar Jackson had a great game, even though Tua came back and the Dolphins beat him. It wasn't because of the offense. Lamar was awesome, like he always is, right? Lamar Jackson hasn't signed that extension. And I'm just wondering, your career is derailed because of an injury, right? If you're Lamar Jackson and you see what happened to Trey Lance and your game is based not just as a pocket passer, you use your legs, meaning you're a hit away from a catastrophic injury. Does the injury to Trey Lance, in your opinion, make a guy like Lamar say, you know what? They did put $160 guaranteed on the table, according to the last report. It's not the Deshaun Watson deal, but it's $160 guaranteed. Let's even say I could get him to 180 and 250 total value. Does the injury to Trey Lance make a guy like Lamar Jackson rethink not signing a guarantee at that level?
Absolutely. It should. He should be knocking on that front office door this morning, first thing. Hey, guys, is that $160 still on the table? Can I sign that now? Because, you think about their skill set, right? Trey Lance does a lot of the same types of things that Lamar does. A lot of RPOs, a lot of things between the tackles, a lot of designed runs for the quarterback, which, again, puts you in more susceptible situations to be injured. So I would absolutely be knocking on that door. This game is, the NFL is National Football League, but it's also not for long.
Right.
And you want to hit it while it's hot, and you want to make sure to maximize your opportunities when they're there in front of you. And you don't want to be able, and if and when you do get injured, because it's going to happen at some point, maybe it's not a broken ankle, but you're going to tweak something here or there. You want to lean back on that 160. This is me leaning back on that 160 that I've got in cash behind me.
Just be careful.
That's what you want, not too much.
Guys have fallen off.
Okay, let me not lean back too much. But he needs that security blanket. He needs that security, not just for himself, but for his family and the team to rally around that guy. And he's that injury to Trey Lance really would have me. He probably didn't get any sleep.
I would have been on the phone last night. Now I know his mom is representing him. I would have said, Ma, call up the Ravens.
Enough is enough.
We can get it. Like, listen, $160 guaranteed, and he might see the 250. But when I saw that Trey Lance injury, the first thing I thought was sign your name. Like, listen, don't be stupid. Don't be too proudful not to sign it because you want more than anybody else. $160 is generational wealth, and you'll get another contract after that because you're in your mid-20s. So memo to Lamar Jackson, please sign the contract. They're not getting you on the cheap. $160 is $160.
Yeah.
Sign it. Now, I know we're letting you go, and I think Greg Jennings is coming in, but I ask all wide receivers that come on the show if they've still got it.
Okay.
Now,
am I running a 40 today?
No. The ball's just going to come when you don't expect it.
Okay, got it.
So I just want to make
this
sure
is not okay.
that Victor Cruz still has it, and he does.
That had a little zip on it, too. I wasn't ready for the little zip that he put on that thing, too, man.
And I have now completed 3 passes on this show to 3 different wide receivers.
There we go.
Call me Jimmy G.
100% passer rating.
That's it. Good seeing you, pal.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Victor Cruz, everybody. Greg Jennings is coming. Much more on week 2 of the NFL right here on FS1.
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
So, we're getting that house we told you guys about.
You're buying a house?
Yeah. Soldiers get VA loan guarantees.
Yeah, no money down. Well, my office gives us free bagels.
That's cool.
Hi, I'm Ted Ligety, 2-time Olympic gold medalist and 5-time world champion. Buying or selling a home is a huge decision. You need to win. It means everything for you and your family. I've won a lot, and I know how important it is to work with a great team. That's why I trust HomeLight. HomeLight works with the best local real estate agents, proven winners. Over 1 million people have used HomeLight to sell their home faster and for more money. It only takes 2 minutes, and it's free. Get started for free at HomeLight.com.
So, what's the secret? How have you guys made it work so long?
We have a deep, almost spiritual connection.
I'm his plumber.
It's like he knew my water heater needed a tune-up before I even asked. Like he's reading my mind.
That's not mind reading. That's just automated email reminders through constant contact that I send out to all my clients.
Wait, how many clients do you have?
Well, I mean, I have a couple others.
This is Sandra. She gets her financial advice from her mother. This is Tony, who gets his financial advice from his old college roommate. And this is where Frank used to sit. He got smart about retirement at smartasset.com. They matched him with vetted fiduciary financial advisors to help turn his retirement priorities into a retirement reality. Everybody sure misses Frank.
Can someone get that?
Smartasset.com. Take our free quiz and be matched with up to 3 vetted financial advisors. Get smart about retirement.
Fiverr freelancers help me with product design. Just always simple and easy. I log on, I tell them what I need, and I get it delivered. Your turn. Get started on Fiverr today.
New Astapro Allergy, now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While other allergy sprays take hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
You got KFC, mijo.
This drum and thigh combo is only $6.
Good deal. For you. But you bring nothing home for your abuelita.
You okay?
No.
Get your own $6 2-piece combo at KFC.
The UEFA Nations League continues as global superstars fight for their countries. Thursday at 2:30 Eastern on FS1.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill too?
Maybe.
Here you go, sir.
You're a lifesaver.
So nice day.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app. CVS Pharmacy. Healthier happens together.
I press play. I'm moving forward in my life.
I press play. I'm choosing my path.
Owning each day.
Thinking about my life.
My goals.
What's next?
I press play because I got tested for HIV. Now I know my status. I talked to a doctor.
Now I know what's important to me.
I press play.
I got tested for HIV. Going to do what's right for me.
I press play in my future.
I press play. I did.
I did.
We all should get tested for HIV.
Oh, you know what you all said. The Dallas Cowboys can't win with Cooper Rush. Here come the Bengals off a bad Week 1 loss, and the Cowboys are dead. I was one of those people.
said it.
I think I may have said it, yes.
I was in the boat. I'm with you.
That's Greg Jennings, by the way, Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer. And, of course, Cody Decker, and he's rocking the Green Bay green. Why not? They got it on the win column last night. But let's start with with Dallas and Cincinnati, because Cowboys get off to this great start, 17-3 out of the gate at halftime. Woo! Here comes a big upset. But then here comes Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and they outscore the Cowboys 14-0. And then the Cowboys, fourth quarter, are we going to overtime? Are we going to choke the game away? Do we need Dak Prescott? Answer, no. Why? Because Cooper Rush, and I have here in my hands a piece of paper. Now, Cooper Rush is on the field. He's only got one win in his career against the Vikings a year ago. Do the Dallas Cowboys trust Cooper Rush? Is he going to lead them down the field and win the game, or are we going into overtime where we're probably going to lose the game because Cincinnati has all the momentum? Rush passed to CeeDee Lamb for 8 yards. Rush passed to Brown for 12 yards. Rush passed to Lamb for 10 yards. A little Tony Pollard in the mix. Spike the ball, stop the clock. And let's have at it a 50-yard field goal to win the game. Cooper Rush gets a game ball.
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it. And for me, the reason why I think we've become so enamored with this idea that Dak Prescott is the savior in Dallas is because he's all they have. Like, he's been their only option. But Dak Prescott doesn't equate to wins for Dallas.
Right. He's had some regular season.
Exactly.
He has, but not playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's not like he tips the scale immediately and you say, or any of us say, yep, Dak Prescott, he's going to win the game for him. That's not what we think. So for me, the way Cooper Kupp was able to go out there and just manage the game, not turn the ball over, and make plays in the moment that was its brightest, that was special, not only for him, but for those guys in that locker room to see that he can get it done, and they win the game.
It does a lot. Listen, it puts a lot of people at ease when a guy like Cooper Rush can come in and manage the game, right? That's all you're asking a backup quarterback to do. You want him to manage the game. You don't want him to be the reason you lose the game.
Exactly.
And if you can manage the game, and listen, what he did yesterday, I don't even care what his stats are. They're irrelevant to me. That is the perfect play from a backup. He put his team in a position to win the game, and he's not the reason that the Bengals came back in the second half. Yeah, stats aren't going to look great. Fair enough. But he gave his team a chance to win. They get the kick to win it. And now you go from looking at 0-2, and maybe we don't have a legitimate starting quarterback, to Dak Prescott as of right now this second. And I think this is crazy talk. He might play Monday night against the New York Giants. He went for yes.
What?
That is right now.
No.
Yes.
Stop it.
The Cowboys announced it last night that there is a chance because he gets an extra day and the way his hand is apparently already recovering that he is possible to be ready to play Monday night.
No, not when you got Cooper Aikman over here marching down the field, man. Let's go.
Listen, we all love an underdog, right? And many people hate the Dallas Cowboys, not necessarily on this particular network, but, nationwide. That's
It's a fact. It is a fact.
It's like, it might be the only show that is objective about the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to beat the Bengals. I really didn't.
No.
And I think, winning that game, it lets them breathe. Like, you take a breath. All right, we're not 0-2. We're not out of it. We're not worried about the New York Giants, despite them being 2-0. And, hey, if the Eagles lose tonight, we're right there.
Yeah, it was a great team win. And when you have a roster configured the way that the Dallas Cowboys have, and on paper, you have a bunch of skilled guys, talented individuals, it's not just about those guys stepping up, especially when your leader, your alpha in the locker room is removed. It's about the other guys. And for me, yesterday, that's what it was about. You look at offensively, Norman Brown. Do any of you know who Norman Brown is?
Not before yesterday.
Not before yesterday. And that's exactly what it's going to have to take. It's going to take a lot of guys coming together who we don't know, who understand what they're being asked to do. He was thrown to 5 times. He had 5 catches. That's the type of success you are capable of having when you have a guy like Cooper Rush, who probably is throwing to Norman Brown every day in practice with the twos or running scout teams. So they have a familiarity and a chemistry already built together. And so your defense, bend, don't break. And offensively, you don't create turnovers and put your defense in bad spots. They didn't have 10 penalties like they did against.
They had a lot of penalties
in week 1.
There's still a very there's too many.
But they didn't have 10. They cut it in half. They had 5. They still had a lot.
Too many.
Too many for sure. But you don't beat yourself. And at the end of the day, when you can put yourself in position to still have a chance to win, that's all you can ask for right now.
And listen, Noah Brown at 5 receptions, 91 yards, had that first touchdown. And again, like I said, part of the reason why they win. And I mean, is Micah Parsons not the most electric defensive player in football? And hey, memo to Cincinnati, guard him, block him. Like, your franchise quarterback is like going out on a date with the guy. He was so close to him. It's like everybody forgot that number 11 knows how to play. Tony Romo compared him to Lawrence Taylor yesterday. It was crazy. And there he is again.
He just wreaks havoc. He's a motor that is endless. He's always on.
Now, Bengal-wise, listen, 2 very tough losses, right?
Yes.
They lose to the Steelers in week 1 on a blocked extra point and then a bad field goal from a guy that's usually money good at McPherson. They lose by a field goal yesterday. Listen, they're 0-2, and we know the numbers. Like, you have like a 10% chance of making the playoffs when you're 0-2. They're also in the AFC, which is a much tougher conference than the NFC, and there's also a lot of football left. Yeah. But should Bengal fans be worried?
Yes. We've seen Joe Burrow sacked 13 times in 2 weeks. Worry. Like, you go out and you address your offensive line with 3 new acquisitions. You bring them in, and the expectation is, okay, we solidified our protection up front for our number 1 asset. And we go out first 2 weeks of the season, and it's as if they never did anything addressing that offensive line, and he's your number 1 asset. So for me, they thrive off the big play.
Yep.
If Joe Burrow can't drop back and have time to assess what's going on down the field and hit Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and others, they have no chance. And for me, they're not great. They're not good enough defensively to overcome the lack of offensive production.
And listen, they can make an argument that we've played well enough to be 2-0, and they're not. They're 0-2. And to be fair, week 1, Burrow had a bad game. 4 picks, had a fumble. And listen, you miss an extra point, it happens. Like I always say, the other team gets paid too. You ain't the only professionals on the field. Let's do just a little around the NFL here. Some other games of note. We'll start with the Rams beating the Falcons. It was a very strange game in that the Rams were up 21-3 at halftime. This game is a wrap, right? Atlanta, closed against New Orleans last week, gave up a huge second half. They stink. They're always gonna stink. And then all of a sudden, Atlanta comes running back. And then Jalen Ramsey, a guy who has been much maligned by me and many people like me, had a terrible Super Bowl. He was terrible in week 1 against the Buffalo Bills, but he makes the game-saving interception right there, and that is a play, man. That is, give him all the credit in the world. He got up, he made the play, and he seals the victory. And now all those Rams fans who are worrying about a Super Bowl hangover can take a deep breath because you won a game. But I would just caution you, Listen, that's their first game in 10 days, right? And it was at home. And you barely beat a bad Falcons team. So take a deep breath, but you're not back yet. You got a lot more winning to do before I'll tell you that you're the Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah, you got a lot more winning to do, and you got a lot more pieces to start to figure out what goes well together and how can we reestablish who we were last year. Look, this is a different team. You lost Von Miller, you lost OBJ. You have new pieces that are trying to implement themselves and fill voids that you need them to fill right now for them to be that Super Bowl contending team. But this team is built on their players making plays. Jalen Ramsey has to be Jalen Ramsey. Yes. When you look at offensively, Matthew Stafford has to be Matthew Stafford that led them to the Super Bowl, not throwing interceptions and putting their defense in bad positions. If they can do that, they will win these types of games. They've been there. They have a young coach who understands what he wants to get done. I'm not so much worried about this team because they are, as you said earlier, they're in the NFC.
Yes.
So they're
much easier road.
Their path to winning is a lot smoother.
I tell you, it's so amazing how many games yesterday featured two totally different halves. Like that Rams game, first half money good, second half it's all Atlanta. You know, the Miami game, Baltimore first half, Miami second half. Jets.
I knew it was coming.
But that's not the game I want to focus on. I'm going to give you 30 seconds on a game that nobody cares about unless you wagered on it or it had some type of fantasy implications. The Jaguars shut out the Colts 24-0. So the very first coach in the NFL that is now on the FS1 Carton Show hot seat is Frank Reich, because you got another veteran quarterback in there. Well, you look surprised.
I mean,
dude, he couldn't win.
Look at him.
How many more veteran quarterbacks are we going to get Frank Reich?
Andy Murray next year.
I mean, he can't win at some point. Bye-bye.
You can't put it all on Frank Reich. It's in his defense.
He got shut out by the Jaguars. Give me three. The Jaguars, the worst franchise, not known as the Cleveland Browns, shut you out. Bye-bye.
In his defense, this Jaguar team, they look pretty good.
Come on.
I have nothing for you, Frank. I have nothing. I'm trying here.
You keep trying. You keep trying all day, all night. New England, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was an ugly football game back, a low-scoring, ugly game. The Steeler fans started chanting in the fourth quarter, we want Pickett, we want Pickett.
I want Pickett.
Yeah?
Yes. I want Pickett. They need Pickett. That's just my humble opinion. I think he gives them the best chance to win. Offensively, he's relentless. He has that like Joe Burrow-esque demeanor about him where he just goes out there and he makes plays. He's always done it. I feel like they need that. Mitchell Trubisky, he has a throttle that, I don't know, it's like he has a
It's like a moped compared to a ninja.
There
right?
you go. There you go.
I think that's a motorcycle. I'm not a motorcycle guy.
You did a great job.
But I've heard of ninjas. I think it's a fast motorcycle, isn't it?
You got it.
I got that.
You got it.
And a moped
is not.
Is
very,
not.
Very slow.
One guy that is fast like a ninja is Kyler Murray, and he proved all of you naysayers wrong. He is good enough, and he was good enough. I will get into it next.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, Euros. Arby's with that great technique. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
You're making all the difference out there, kid.
To Dortmund. Was you слышал? And the next big American pressure.
Pressure.
So where do you think this pressure is coming from?
Everyone. I'm just here for the mints.
Mr. Manager's gonna have faith in you.
So much pressure.
Pressure makes diamonds.
True.
Prolific! He scores! Incredible!
Send no blitz. Send no blitz.
When I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Start playing and never stop playing. You get the most from the game when you're having fun.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. See your vision clearly, get there decisively. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
We capture lots of data. With Fiverr, we were able to find the right software developer to help gather all that data and put it into the right system. I was able to save time and money and spend more time growing my business.
Transform your business today. Fiverr.
With GoDaddy, you can start a stunning online store for free. Easily connected to social platforms and marketplaces. And manage all your sales from one place. Because if you've got it, we've got you. Start for free at GoDaddy.com/start free.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess, less energy? Less drive?
Definitely.
It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age.
Happened to you guys?
Yep.
So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text SURGE to 231231. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text SURGE to 231231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast. Absolutely free. That's SURGE to 231231.
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love. Make your taste buds dance for $4.49.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Hey, Brady. I got you riding.
Coach, that's not my car.
It is now. That's seafood platter. Here we go. You didn't order all this.
This is compliments of the gentleman right over there.
Everybody wants to be on Big Noon.
Rob, pick it up. A 30-foot gimme. Good part, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The best party ever.
Thanks for the upgrade. Interesting. This is not the jet. These guys are relentless.
Car wrecks don't keep regular business hours, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a car wreck after 5 p.m., don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. At Lerner & Rowe, we're your 24/7 injury attorneys.
Call 222-2222.
Now handling CPAP cases.
This is Bandit. He founded Underdog Fantasy so that humans who really love sports could play with their friends and win some big prizes. Tell your human to go to UnderdogFantasy.com today.
Busted? Original Gorilla Glue, of course. Works indoor, works outdoor. It's weatherproof, it's waterproof. It's versatile and incredibly strong for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Car wrecks don't keep regular business hours, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a car wreck after 5 p.m., don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. At Lerner & Rowe, we're your 24/7 injury attorneys.
Call 222-2222.
Now handling Zentak cases.
We're back, all pumped up. Great weekend of football.
Yes.
And it, of course, continues tonight. Tonight's a very interesting thing the NFL is doing with not one but two games, and they overlap each other, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the show because I'm trying to figure out why they're doing that. But, NFL football, not the only thing going on. Fox, of course, the home of some great college football. So allow us just to give you a couple quick stories. College football I think you're going to like. Now, a lot of people watching this show are young, impressionable college students who one day want to be sitting here, right? You want to be a sports broadcaster. I want to do play-by-play from my alma mater. All right, well, there's a thing in broadcasting called letting a play breathe. There's another thing for the analysts, which is never jump the call.
Yes.
And what that means is last play of the game, maybe a kick to win a Super Bowl, a Hail Mary, a touchdown, let the play-by-play guy announce it, and then you react to it. Never jump the call. Well, at Appalachian State, they don't teach sports broadcasting that way, and they encourage call jumping. This is a Hail Mary to win the game. Give it a listen.
See how many Troy rushes here. They have everybody back to try to knock one down. Three-man rush. Chase going to step up in the pocket. Sets, throws high into the air. It's up for grabs. It is juggled.
I feel so bad for the guy doing play-by-play because like he's got a name for the play. It's like Miracle in the Meadowlands or something like that. And the analyst is just so happy that he just can't help himself. But yeah, the golden rule is never, ever, ever jump the call. They jumped it. Listen, I hate Penn State, so nothing good should ever happen to kids that play football at Penn State. And while they did blow Auburn out, there's a kid on Penn State. His name is Sean Clifford, and I felt this at home. I did. Check this out. He's running and bang!
Oh, yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he might. Here it is again, and
Oh, my, yeah.
By the way, legal hit.
Very legal.
Boom. Ooh. Yikes.
Shoulders, no helmet. That was clean, very brutal. This is why a lot of moms are like, my son's not playing that sport.
He got up. He was like, "Do you know where you are?" He said, "Yeah, Tuesday." And the ball went out of bounds. So Penn State maintained possession. And then, you've heard about guys in basketball, like pump fake in basketball, right? You've seen quarterbacks pump fake and then throw the long ball.
How do they pump fake? How's the quarterbacks pump fake?
You want me to show you?
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
I got you. Don't make me get that ball out again.
Was that air ball?
No.
That was air
He
sports.
asked. No, he asked. He asked for it. I delivered. On demand, I can air sports. Not on demand, air sports is bad. Anyway, have you ever seen a pump fake punter? Have you ever seen that?
I would love to see more of it, if that's what you're about to show us.
I'm going to show you. This is the Akron punter right there. Bang. And he gets the punt off. How about that?
Why is this not done every single game?
Like,
You've just been staring us in the face for 100 years?
There's the fake. And a nice, easy little 25, 30-yard punt.
Look how comfortable he is.
Yeah.
No one is going to tackle the punter. They're all taught to dive at the foot.
Well, to be fair, the Dallas Cowboys might, because they commit penalties more than any other team in football. So it is possible Mike McCarthy is teaching them
that's against
to
network
wrap
policy.
up the punter.
We're not going to bash the Cowboys. It's against network
You
policy.
love Mike McCarthy, who with Cooper Rush did win a big game. All right, another guy that's been under fire. We'll go back to the NFL now, but thank you for watching that. Is, of course, Kyler Murray, right? He gets the bag, he gets all the money. Then there's the question of whether or not he's really putting in the study and the work that is required to become a great quarterback. And then yesterday, down 3 touchdowns. Game's over, right? And the Raiders are going to get their first win. And it's going to be, I know the story's going to be today, Kyler Murray's overrated. Kyler Murray doesn't care. Kyler Murray's not a franchise quarterback. All the boo birds come out because it would have been easy to. They looked terrible in week 1. They looked terrible for the first half plus yesterday.
Yes.
And then suddenly, somehow, some way, Kyler Murray, like a switch went off in his head. And to me, the switch was, go out there and play the game the way I play it. And don't worry so much about, I got to be a pocket passer. I got to be this. I got to be that. Let me just go play on instinct.
Yep.
And in that moment, the game changed.
That, for me, is why I feel like the narrative is what it is. And what we've been hearing of, does he really study? Does he really care? Because he turns this switch on, and when he turns it on, it looks like this.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's like, dude, be this guy. And I remember calling the game and sitting down with Kyler Murray and talking about, the skill set that he possesses. What makes him unique? And he wants to be this pocket passer. But what separates him from the pack is what he does right here. How he shows his legs and extend plays and just creates havoc for defenses. Like, you got to be that guy. And for him to say, I had to take over, excuse me, sir. At that position, you're getting paid that amount of money every single time you step on the field. You got to take over.
I agree. I mean, that's why they're paying him, right? I mean, he keeps a lot of other people employed, too.
Absolutely.
When he plays like that. I found it interesting because I think a lot of the criticism against him has been unfair. And there's this weird notion, and it's an old, stupid, unfounded notion that you have to be a pocket passer to be thought of as one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL. And maybe that was the case in the 1970s. But to think that way now is just wrong. It's misguided. You have a God-given ability to do things most guys can't do. You don't think Tom Brady wishes he could get out of the pocket?
Exactly.
I guarantee he does. Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, all the greats wish that they could get out of the pocket like that. So to me, any team that's going to try to stifle that, and I don't know if the Cardinals are or they're not, I just think for that kid to think of himself only as, I got to stay in this confined area, is doing himself a disservice because he took over a game in about 15 minutes of game action and went from down 21 to stealing a W.
He took matters into his own hands, and when you have guys out like DeAndre Hopkins, who will be out for a few more weeks, like, you can't wait for the game to come to you. You have to go and take and seize the moment, especially when you're in a division that you can really try to run away with.
Sure.
Pending what the 49ers are doing. Like, you have the opportunity to do something special. If he's not that guy that we saw in that late third quarter to fourth quarter, they have no chance.
No chance.
He has to be this guy all the time.
And by the way, every game that they win without D-Hop in the lineup is like a gift. And when that guy comes back, the Cardinals become listen, they're a dangerous team. It's the reason they gave that guy all the money. But, you got to play like it also. On the flip side, Cody's Raiders, listen, you're 0-2 now, right? And you could write off maybe week one, okay, the Chargers are better. I can accept that. They got Justin Herbert, they're better. But you blow a 3-touchdown lead at home where your fans are popping champagne that we got our first win of the year, and now you're staring 0-2 in the face in by far the toughest division of football. That becomes a hole that becomes very tough to climb out of.
Yeah, like you said, 0-2 last week.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me. You don't think I knew this was coming? I knew this was coming. I watched that last 5 minutes through tears streaming out of my eyes, and it was unbelievable. And let's be real here, man. Kyler Murray's the truth, and it was like watching a Madden player play against a Tecmo Bowl defense. It was just painful to sit through.
Well, that is a solid multi-generational video game reference.
You're welcome.
Well played, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so that's Arizona and Vegas, which brings me now to, you referenced what are the Niners, right? Well, they've got their better quarterback playing now, and I feel terrible for Trey Lance. But the rhetoric, and you'll read this as you start your day, which I find unfathomable, that people are suggesting that somehow, some way, Kyle Shanahan did the wrong thing or put Trey Lance in a position to get hurt. And he referenced it because somebody made him aware after the game that the immediate reaction on social media when we learned that Trey broke his ankle was that Shanahan was getting the blame for it. Here's what Kyle said afterwards.
Would have been better if it was 2nd and 4. Is that what you're implying? There's a few options on the play. It could have been a handoff. The DN went up to play. It's the exact same play we ran 3 plays before that where Debo got a 52-yarder. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's a pretty normal play. It's part of football, and it's unfortunate that he hurt his ankle on it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Very
to me.
normal.
Listen, I recognize that there's 2 camps, right? There's the Jimmy G camp, there's the Trey Lance camp, and maybe they're both good enough to lead the Niners to the postseason. We're going to find out if Jimmy G still has the goods, and it's probably unfair to both guys. But to blame the head coach for having Trey Lance run the ball in between the tackles as if he set him up to get hurt is maybe the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time.
Like, Cody, aren't you supposed to put players in the best position where they can thrive and where they are doing what they're most comfortable?
Yes.
That's exactly what Kyle Shanahan was doing.
Right.
Like, he understands what he has at quarterback. He's going to develop to be a better passer. And yes, he got hurt. And his development is now kind of, it's paused for a minute.
Sure.
But to say this was on Kyle Shanahan is this is something they do all the time. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo, he just doesn't run in between the tackles because he knows I'm not physically.
A 1-yard game.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not physically talented or gifted enough and have the durability to do that. Trey Lance is a big individual who they can run this play with, and like Kyle Shanahan said, he could have handed the ball off, he could have not. And this is a part of we all understand what we sign up for.
It's a violent sport. The guy got hurt. It sucks that he got hurt. No one's rooting for him to get hurt. And then San Francisco, in my opinion, benefits from its own dysfunction, which is the whole situation, not having Jimmy G out of the building. Now you wake up and, wow, look how lucky we are that we have Jimmy G in the building. And, give Jimmy credit. He didn't take a single snap this summer. He didn't take a single snap in the preseason. He spent a lot of the summer rehabbing his non-throwing shoulder, but he was not in their plans. He didn't run any first-team offense, no second-team offense. He was sitting there on the sideline. Trey gets hurt. He comes into the game, perfect on the first drive. You see the touchdown pass there. He scores another touchdown later. And while his numbers, I'll be honest, as much as I'm a Jimmy guy, not the most impressive, he did what he always does, and that's give me the dub. He gets the win, and I will even acknowledge this. It ain't like he was playing,
Thank you.
you know, the best team in football. He wasn't. Seattle stinks. All right? Seattle will always stink with Geno Smith as their quarterback. And if you saw Denver this past weekend, you know that Seattle beating Denver doesn't mean a damn thing because Denver stinks too. And Russell Wilson is the most overpaid human being on the planet.
Flying.
Until I see Cody's check every week, and I'll let you know if I'm going to change that. But yeah, like, I don't understand. I'm very confused by it. Give Jimmy G a lot of credit. He stepped in there. They win the game by 20 points. And now you've got a veteran quarterback who we knew last week. A lot of guys in the locker room, maybe not so quietly. No disrespect, although it is disrespectful to Trey, wanted Jimmy to be the quarterback because they know he's been there. Well, now you got him, and he performed admirably coming in that spot.
Well, for me, it's not a disrespectful thing. When you are in the locker room, and Cody, you can relate to this, and you know the 11 guys that give you the best chance. It's not about what coaches want to get done. I'm out here. I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears out with these guys, and if I know that you are the guy for the job, I'm going to jump on that and look, put them in.
Right.
And so for me, you hit it right on the head. Jimmy Garoppolo is the best quarterback for this team to win and win now. Trey Lance is the future. We all understand and know that. But to have the locker room yelling for you, wanting you, and then you step in and you perform like that, again, numbers not through the roof, but he did the job that they knew and they believed that he can do week in and week out.
Now, this is on the fly, but guys, can you bring up the Flacco post-game video quickly, if that's possible? Because this is what the San Francisco 49ers wanted. They wanted the embrace. They wanted the team to be enjoying the Jimmy Garoppolo return and the win. And I'm going to show you this video because this is the goal of every single team, this kind of love. Head coaching 90-year-old quarterback limping into the locker room and the guys going crazy because we did something nobody thought we could do.
Absolutely.
Win a game, and thank you to Cleveland for being the worst franchise in all of football. How do you blow a 2-touchdown lead in 90 seconds in your own building with an elf at midfield? Like, think about it. You got no luck out of Brownie the Elf, you morons. You got another typical Cleveland embarrassment. They should be 2-0. The Cleveland Browns should be 2-0, which they haven't been in 30 years, but they did something which, like, what's this next-gen stat company? Since that company started, nobody has blown a game the way Cleveland did yesterday, and it makes me happy. And I want to thank you, Greg Jennings, for wearing jet green today.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Yes, you're like our leprechaun. Look at you, nice green, looking good.
Well, even though Cleveland blew it, like the Jets have fight about them.
They did not quit.
They did not quit. And so I can't, anytime a team wins, I like to give them credit because when you see a team that's down that late in the game, you can easily succumb to, you know what, it's over.
Let me show you this play because this is the play that's, I'm sure, being talked about in Cleveland today. And it's, to be honest, it's Monday morning quarterbacking at its worst. That's the Corey Davis touchdown. Back up the truck there for a second, guys. So Nick Chubb goes in. Really nice run around the left side. Makes a nice little cut deep there about the 3-yard line. So right here, right? So what Cleveland fans are now saying is take an knee.
Absolutely.
Take a knee at the 2, or go, even if you go out of bounds, the Jets are out of timeouts. You take 3 knees, game is over, and no joke. The Cleveland Browns are 2-0. The New York Jets are 0-2, and we now are thinking about firing our head coach. That's the difference between winning and losing. Now, I don't think that's fair. I don't think with 1.5 minutes to go, Nick Chubb in a game that they're blowing the Jets out in is going to be aware in the moment after making a great sweep and a great cut at the 3. Oh, yeah, that's right. I should just sit down. I think it's asking too much.
It's asking too much for a player on the fly when they're not that locked into the details of what's going on, the time, all the things.
And pardon me, it's putting them up 2 touchdowns.
It is.
It's not like you put them up 3.
And I would add, it's not on the player. That should have been, if they wanted him to go down, which, yes, hindsight, he should have went down now.
Stefanski should have told him that.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Stefanski should have let that be known. It should have been repeated in the huddle before everybody broke.
Like, I feel bad for Nick, but I don't, because thank God he did it. And there's this great story that's going to be urban legend now with the Jets, that Miles Austin, former player obviously, who's their wide receiver coach, apparently when Chubb scored the touchdown there, just leaned over to whatever guys were sitting next to him and said, he just gave us a chance to win the game. So he recognized it. To his credit, nobody on the Cleveland side, and I'll be honest, I can't blame them, because when you go up 2 touchdowns against the New York Jets with 90 seconds left, no one is thinking the Jets are going to come back and win the game.
How can you say that? Your juggernaut New York Jets. That's what happened. You're thinking this is all like some crazy thing. No, the Browns ran into a buzzsaw. That is your New York Jets.
They didn't. I am always going to be the realistic Jet fan. I am thrilled we won the game. Winning is paramount.
Sure.
That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you get the W, get the W. All right? But listen, we did not play very well. And we have a big spot coming up against the 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals, who, by the way, the Jets beat last year with Mike White at quarterback. And if you don't think the Bengals remember that, we're in a lot of trouble this week. But I'm going to enjoy it. You got to live in the moment. You got to enjoy it, just like the Denver Broncos are enjoying their first win of the season, even with a mediocre performance from Russell Wilson.
Is that KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo?
Yep.
Is it juicy?
Uh-huh.
Is it creamy?
You know it.
Is it flaky?
Yes.
And it's only $6? That's a real steal of a deal of a meal. Wink. KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo is just $6.
With the Home Depot's lowest prices of the season, it's time to take your bath from start to tiled, to installed, to sealed, to finished. Shop our biggest bath savings of the season right now at the Home Depot.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Yes. I'll get you the file.
Sounds intense.
Clients. What do you do?
Retired?
Tech?
Nah, Army.
Huh. Check your spam folder.
How do you know what Patty likes?
Well, Constant Contacts data shows me what Patty responds to.
I didn't know what I liked until I met Pauline.
She likes flank steak.
It feels great to be seen.
It takes fight to be a full-time fan. There'll be early check-ins and late shifts, good days and bad ones. But you'll never quit because you're in this together. It won't always be easy, but when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Modelo, brewed for full-time fans, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Think Dad's searching doggy diet plans for Josie? No, he's switching his choice cashback category to home improvement, so he earns more on a new doggy door, extra large.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
New Astapro Allergy. No allergy spray is faster. With the speed of Astapro, almost nothing can slow you down. Because Astapro starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. And Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free allergy spray. Now without a prescription. Astapro and go.
Nice place.
Thanks.
Did you know? Paying rent can now raise your credit scores instantly. Free with Experian.
Now rent can boost your credit scores instantly. Free with Experian Boost. Download the app now.
As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep, I was stressed about it, and there were few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
Nobody does anything perfectly the first time, or the second, even the third. We learn from mistakes. But when it comes to retirement planning, who can afford mistakes? Smart Asset can help you avoid those unpleasant mishaps with a free guide, The 7 Crucial Mistakes of Retirement Planning. We also match you with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors who can help you achieve your retirement goals. Using Smart Asset is free with no obligation. Discover what others learned the hard way at smartasset.com.
Send no blitz. Send no blitz.
Start playing and never stop playing. You get the most from the game when you're having fun.
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Thursday, it's Baseball Night in America on Fox. Aaron Judge continues his historic season as the Yankees take on the rival Red Sox. Or Acuna Jr. and the Braves battle Harper and the Phillies. It's Baseball Night in America, Thursday at 6:30 Eastern on Fox.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's a huge doubleheader on Fox. Lamar Jackson and the 1-1 Ravens take on the 1-1 Patriots. And then in America's Game of the Week, it's one of the biggest games of the year. Maybe the last time they'll ever play against each other. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Tom Brady and the Bucs. It all kicks off Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern. Check local listings for the games in your area. Plus, we got a couple football games tonight we still have to get to. And let's recap. Greg Jennings here, a Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer, and Cody Decker, of course, here, more home runs than anyone else in the history of minor league baseball. And Denver Broncos. Well, maybe the Denver Broncos just aren't that good. Maybe Russell Wilson just isn't that good. And maybe Nathaniel Hackett isn't that good. But the Denver Broncos do get a win, albeit a lot closer than most people thought, as they beat the Texans 16-9. And it's tied 6-6 at halftime. No offense at all. And then, of course, while Russell Wilson had a terrible game statistically, when it mattered the most at the very end, his final drive was money good, and they wound up winning by a touchdown. But, you know, there's a play in this game. Nathaniel Hackett, they were on about the 41-yard line, and Nathaniel Hackett takes a delay game and punts, all right? And everybody's killing him for it. He punted to try to change, you know, field position, all right, which we've seen every coach in America do since we've been alive, right? But he shunned the opportunity to kick a 58-yard field goal instead to play the field position game. And he's getting killed for that. So when he tries for a long field goal last week, 64-yarder, he gets buried. When he does the prudent thing and punts instead of attempting a 58-yard kick, he gets killed for that. The guy can't win.
Yeah, and you're not going to win after what happened in week one. When anytime you start identifying yourself as a coach who is struggling with time management, it's not a good look. But I will say this to Bronco Nation and the whole "let's ride" whole mantra.
Yeah.
It's going to take patience, because obviously Russell Wilson, he's not quite who you thought he was coming out the gate.
He's not very good right now.
And I'm going to tell you this, Tom Brady has ruined it for a lot of these quarterbacks, because the narrative now, or the expectation now, is that when we get one of these elite guys, they're going to come to us and we're now going to win. And that's just not what it is with everyone.
Here's the difference, though. They're paying him like he's Tom Brady, right? And he ain't Tom Brady yet. So, listen, week one, of course, they had the 2 fumbles on the 1. Yesterday, they got inside the 5-yard line twice in the first half and had to settle for field goals again. So the offense just isn't clicking yet. And I'm not sure if that's Hackett's fault as much as maybe guys just trying to get comfortable with each other, know each other's tendencies. But Russell Wilson, 2 weeks in, has not been great. That's okay, because the Broncos won, meaning Ciara decided to dance for us.
Oh, really?
And that's a win in my book. Show the video, guys. There you go. Oh, there you go. All right. That's the best part of the dance right there.
Huh.
I'm sure what you call it.
Why'd you stop?
Because I got distracted. Yeah. Ciara started doing like the chicken dance, and I got excited.
That was no.
Nobody wants me to do that.
That was off-putting.
Before we go to break, Titans Bills tonight, Vikings Eagles tonight, and they overlap each other. Meaning, if you have one TV in your house like I do, you can't watch them both. I want to watch them both, but I can't watch them both. They're not letting me watch both games tonight, and I don't know why. I need more NFL, not less NFL. We'll get into that, and the guys will give you some thoughts on those games tonight in just a second. We got Dallas and Cincinnati from yesterday. Huge game, and a great job keeping all those Dallas naysayers at bay, at least for the time being.
The chef's chicken sandwiches at Panera, freshly prepared with clean ingredients, spark an explosion of the senses. So when you finally taste it, it just confirms this is fantastic. And only at Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
Fiverr Freelancers developed my app exactly as I envisioned it. All I did was log on, I found freelancers, I picked the one that would fit my budget and the one that had great reviews. Join Fiverr today and get something going.
Rates may be rising, but with Rocket, you have an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home and refinance to a lower rate later with exclusive savings. That's the Rocket advantage. Call 8336-ROCKET today.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis persists, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When UC got unpredictable, I got rapid symptom relief with Rinvoq. Check.
When UC held me back, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC got the upper hand,
Rinvoq helped visibly repair the colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Fur, you won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you.
And new Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
With the Home Depot's lowest prices of the season, it's time to take your bath from start to tiled, to installed, to sealed, to finished. Shop our biggest bath savings of the season right now at the Home Depot.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
Stop. You're in.
Oh, cool. Yep, even easier than that.
What's in your wallet?
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love. Make your taste buds dance for $4.49.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You know, it says out of workshop for a reason.
So sorry to bother you, boss, but they moved the World Cup to the holidays.
Wait, like the actual World Cup?
It's a big deal.
Yeah, but that's my time to shine. Get Blitzen on the phone. I gotta get back up there right now. I gotta go.
DirecTV.
the best in the game, and still the undisputed leader in sports. We're your ticket to every NFL matchup every Sunday. Touchdown! We've got the most live sports in 4K HDR. Set your favorite teams with automatic season recording so you won't miss a moment. No way! And bring all the best together with Sports Mix. Sports on your screens at home or with you on the go with the DirecTV app. Your teams on your screens. DirecTV, where sports are always in season.
The day you get your Clear Choice dental implants makes every day a let's dig in day, a chow down day, a take a big bite day, a perfectly delicious day, a love my new teeth day. Because your Clear Choice day is the day everything is back on the menu. A Clear Choice day changes every day. Schedule a free consultation.
Well, it was 3-0 at halftime. It was 3-3 after 3. And then Tampa decided to stop messing around with the New Orleans Saints. Welcome back. It's the Carton Show. Greg Jennings, Cody Decker. I'm Craig. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Let's be honest about it. But Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did something that they've never done since Brady became their starting quarterback, and that's beat New Orleans. I don't know why the Saints have had their number, but they have. And this is the first time that the Tom Brady Bucs win the game, but it's a game that was marred with some stupidity. And that is more fighting. Now, there's history here. Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah. And just listen, Lattimore is just telling Brady, essentially, hey, you suck. Get off the field. That's all it was. It wasn't even face-to-face. There was nothing threatening about it at all. And hey, get off the field. And here comes Mike Evans. Bang! Sending him to the ground. And then the scrum ensues. He gets kicked out, rightfully so. Lattimore gets kicked out. Maybe didn't deserve to be kicked out. But boy, do I love the way they protect my guy. You can't breathe within a 3-mile radius of Tom Brady without someone knocking your block right off.
Man, Mike Evans is about to get like 30 targets next week.
Did you see where he came from, too? It's not like he wasn't in the scrum. He put himself from the sideline into the. Yeah. Oh, you're talking to Tom. He sprint over and just tackled.
And by the way, all Lattimore said was, get the F off the field. Yeah. That's pretty much all he said. That was enough.
This is like bottled up emotion and animosity between he and Marshawn Lattimore. They have this feud that's beyond, a little bit beyond just the Saints and the Bucs. Yeah. It's like
the Josh Norman OBJ feud.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
This is the third time they've gotten into it, isn't it? I mean,
I guess there's a part of me that likes it because who doesn't like watching a good fight on TV, right? I watched the Canelo fight this weekend. I like watching fights, but they're just stupid.
Yeah.
By the way, so he said get off the field. Mike Evans comes out and drops him like that, and then Mike's helmet comes off. Put the helmet back on before someone takes a shot at you. Now, does this mean, other than Mike Evans, that Brady is beloved in that locker room and we're not going to let anybody mess with Brady? Or is it more, hey, that's a business move. That guy represents my best shot. I'll get in another ring. If anyone breathes near him, I'm taking the guy out. Or is it just personal and stupid?
I think it's a culmination of all of it, but it helps when it's Tom Brady, and you know Tom Brady is going to go to bat for you, and he's going to do anything and everything he possibly can to help you be better as a player and give us the best shot to win. So Mike Evans, this is a team that's close-knit. They're scrappy. This is what they're going to do. They're going to protect Tom Brady at all costs. He already has two of his old linemen that he wanted there.
That's right.
They're not there. So it's like anything that looks like it's not protection of Tom Brady, we're going to protect.
And you can start the rumor mill now. Odell Beckham was at the sideline of this game, rocking the ring, and he saw Brady. Brady made a point of going over to him on the sideline, and they hugged it out. And Brady said to him, all my receivers are down. Can you play?
And about to be suspended.
So don't think for a minute. Yes. Don't think for a minute that the rumor train of OBJ to Tampa ain't going to heat up once we find out that Odell is running 4.4s again. That's exactly where that guy's going to go. Now, I want to ask you a question about respect, because I brought this up earlier in the show when Victor Cruz was here. I want your take on it as well. I'm watching some of that game yesterday, and I see on the sideline Todd Bowles is the head coach. All right, he wasn't great in New York, well deserving of this second opportunity. Really good defensive coordinator. He's the head coach. Bruce Arians was the head coach. And I see Bruce Arians on the sideline of that game, walking up and down, talking to the guys like he's coaching. And I find that disrespectful to Todd Bowles. But I wonder, as a player, here's the guy that led us to a Super Bowl. He was the face and leader of the franchise, right? He's no longer the head coach. Why is he on the sideline?
So I wouldn't say it's disrespectful, pending the conversations that they're having in-house. But it can be, it's like parents, right? I tell the kids one thing and mom tells the kids the other thing.
Right.
It's like, wait, we have to be on the same page here. You can't be walking past telling guys what you think is right or what needs to be done, and I'm sending one message. But when you have an offensive guy and a defensive guy, I can see why that possibly could be the case. But you got to set those lines. Jerry Jones crosses them far too much in Dallas. And he's the owner.
And even though it may not be right and it may undermine what any coach does, he owns the team.
But even in the role of general manager, of whatever you are, when you have a head coach, let them be just that.
Yeah.
The head coach.
I agree. I don't think Bruce Arians should be on the side. And listen, I know the players love him, and everyone adores him. But I just think if you have a new head coach, that guy's the head coach, get off the field. Now, Tom Brady-wise, listen, Tom Brady's off to his worst statistical start of his career. He's thrown for 400 yards in 2 games, but they're 2-0, and I'm sure that's all he cares about. I doubt he's looking at, his stats or worrying about, people mad at him because he's their fantasy quarterback and whatnot. But you saw the old Brady fire, throwing the Microsoft Surface thing to the ground, yelling at his teammates, just totally ticked off, which I'm sure is part frustration. He wasn't playing great, and part we got shut out for a half. Like, what the heck's going on here? Get your act together. I love it.
I do too. And this is one of the things that I love about Tom Brady. He's one of the quarterbacks that you never hear anyone say, you can't do that. Why? Because he not only does it when other guys aren't performing, he does it when he's not performing. And anytime you lead, you have to lead looking at yourself in the mirror first. And that's what Tom Brady does. So he can do this all he wants.
And last thing on this game, not on Tom Brady, it was announced yesterday after the game that Tom Brady is now going to appear on the injury report every week. Relax, relax, relax. Oh my God. He's not hurt. They are giving him every Wednesday off. And I wonder, in the guys you played with, if Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre were like, hey, listen, I'm taking Wednesdays off. How would guys react to that?
As a quarterback, you can't. I'm against that. I'm against that as a quarterback. Like, we had the year we won the Super Bowl, Charles Woodson, he missed Wednesday and Thursday practice. He was playing with a broken toe.
Okay.
Friday, he stepped on the field. Everybody knew, but he is a very rare breed that can play and show exactly without the reps. Mm-hmm. When you're playing quarterback and you're down receivers and you're having other guys step up, you got to get the reps.
Well,
you got to get the reps.
He's not going to get them on Wednesdays. So Monday, they all go in for treatment, look at film. Tuesday, when you normally play on Sunday, everybody gets Tuesday off.
Here's the thing. All the fans who are out there like, oh, Tom Brady doesn't need the reps. It's not even about Tom Brady. It's about the other guys. Right. It's about the linemen. It's about just the rapport being built. It has nothing to do with just Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady gets Wednesdays off, and I'm going to make a note, ask FS1 to have Wednesdays off.
Let me know how that works.
Already?
Greg Jennings will be the host every Wednesday of the Carton Show.
Welcome to Jennings Show.
All right, speaking of your former team, the Green Bay Packers, I predicted they would blow Chicago out. That ain't like me coming up with cold fusion. Everybody thought they were going to blow Chicago out, including Aaron Rodgers, right? So they blow them out. The Bears are not a very good team. Fields threw for 70 yards in the game. The only difference is they didn't win the way I thought they'd win, which was Aaron Rodgers throwing for 350. They won the game on the ground. And even Aaron Rodgers, who a week ago threw everybody under the bus, this week, after a W, kind of put himself under the bus a little bit. Check this out.
Tonight was really about 28 and 33, getting them the football. I didn't play great, feel like the stats look a little better than the game. The standard I set for myself is pretty high. I feel like it is attainable, and my definition of success, I feel like, rests gently on my shoulders and my ego. But I missed some throws that I should never miss.
Are we witnessing the moth becoming the butterfly? Or whatever? No, it's not a moth. What becomes a butterfly?
A caterpillar.
A caterpillar, yes. Are we witnessing the caterpillar becoming the butterfly? Was that a humble, contrite Aaron Rodgers off a win? I think it was.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this. When you have a young team, and particularly on that side of the ball, and you have a lot of guys who are going to be asked to step up and make plays, and they don't make them, and then you don't make plays, you got to hold your feet to the fire as well. And that's what he did. But it was all about the running game last night. Those two guys, Aaron Jones and Dillon, had it going. And when you have it going like that, keep feeding it. The Bears couldn't stop it. Why do you want to stop it?
Right, yeah. I mean, Aaron Jones had 15 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. That's like 8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I would never throw the ball if I could get 8 yards a carry. Right? Which is what San Francisco's saying right now with Jimmy G as the quarterback. If we could just get 8 yards a carry, he never has to throw the ball.
I'm starting to wonder, is Aaron Rodgers happy ever? He's not happy after a loss. He doesn't seem particularly happy after the win. What will make him happy?
I just think he's a different dude.
I think so, too.
I think he's a different guy. I think,
If he threw it for 1,000 yards, does he give that same interview?
Yeah, you know what? I think what makes him happy.
It's a little different.
I think if you gave him like a 1920 bottle of Burgundy wine, I think he'd be thrilled. Oh, look, it's a nice year. I love the Burgundy. Meanwhile, it's not Burgundy, you moron. What is it called?
Burgundy. You don't know what it's called?
Yeah, Burgundy.
Okay.
Burgundy?
You were really trying to say Burgundy?
No, I knew it.
Okay, I'm like, what? You had me for a moment.
I had to say?
You definitely had me.
Just wait till I talk music. I get everybody all the time. I'm being told, hold on a second, I apologize. There is breaking news. The guys are telling me right now. Really? No way. For sure? Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. It has been confirmed. The New York Jets did beat the Cleveland Browns yesterday. That's right. That's right.
This is a nightmare.
31-30. The comeback was real.
Did they beat them or did the Browns lose?
Both. It doesn't matter. And I want to thank you, fine people of Cleveland, for being you. For just waking up in the morning and having that dark cloud over your heads at all times and giving us Jet fans a little sliver, just a little sliver of hope this year. And Cleveland, we owe it to you. So thank you very much.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Like they blew a 2-touchdown lead in the last 90 seconds against the worst offense in football. It never happens, and it finally happened. Yes. Woohoo! God is a Jets fan.
We gotta hug it out. Hug it out.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Woohoo! I gotta start working out. Yeah, well, you feel so muscular to me that nothing on my body feels that way at all. Golly. I'm just so happy.
Oh, my God.
By the way, and just a couple from a New York perspective, Mets won, Yankees won, Giants won, Jets won.
Yeah.
That has not happened in nearly 2 decades on the same day.
It was nuts.
So we're all feeling ourselves pretty good. Coming up, as promised, the Dallas Cowboys did something a lot of you naysayers thought they couldn't do. What is it? We'll tell you right after this. Oh, the Jets. Yes.
Attention foodies. With this fusion of prime rib steak, melted provolone, and other magical melty stuff, Arby's is now officially a fusion restaurant. Chef Smooch, Arby's, we have the meats.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
This is an SOS from New
Everything is disappearing! Our outpost on Earth, Sept, is in danger!
Hey, Quill, this thing is so broken.
Help the galaxy!
Quill, you seeing this? Quill! Well, you heard the lady. Get to Epcot. It's Save the Galaxy time. Again.
More truck owners are switching to Ram, which means more fathers are switching to Ram.
Your body's changing.
And more sons, more tailgaters, more tail waggers, more men with a lot of confidence.
Easy.
And more with not so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fit in there.
And more guys who check straps with a firm tug and say,
that ain't going anywhere,
are switching to Ram.
Right now, during Ram Power Days, get 0% financing for 72 months on our most popular models.
There's no way, Chowder. Yo, you gotta be kidding me.
Downright amazing.
Unbelievable.
That is what you call a wicked shot.
Rack 'em up, Chi-Town.
Old Trapper Beefs. Last bag.
You know there's plenty for both of you.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Start Saturday strong with Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Touchdown!
Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines unleash their explosive offensive attack against Maryland. All part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Woo! Sorry, I just locked in a great refinancing rate for my student loans with Credible.com.
Woo! I'm the Credible.
It's either credible or it's not.
Choose your next vehicle at Elgin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. With the largest inventory in the nation, we have the flexibility to keep our prices low while other dealers go high. And we're adjusting our prices every day. During Jeep Adventure Days, lease the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $399 a month. Or during Ram Power Days, get 0% on select new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns. Or lease for only $339 a month. Your vehicle, your choice. Elgin CDJR.
You're gonna like buying a car this way.
Expand your outdoor living space with our huge selection of landscape blocks from Menards. Get a free estimate instantly with our Design and Buy landscaping program. From patios, retaining walls, fire pits, and more, you can design the landscape of your dreams for free. Visit the store or Menards.com to get started on your next project today. Right now, save 11% on everything. Only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I did for my family.
The cleaning lady's taking care of it.
It's not safe for any of us. Look out! No one can ever know the truth.
The Cleaning Lady season premiere tonight after 9/11 on Fox.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking right about now.
Oh.
No, Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, has not replaced Craig Carton on the Carton Show, but I made a vow to myself and my family that I'd represent the New York Jet colors since we won our first game. And while the Fox executives don't want me wearing sweatshirts or hoodies, too bad. Because it's not every day you score 2 touchdowns in the last 90 seconds of a game. And this might be my only chance this year to talk any smack at all about the Jets. So I'm glad they won. Now, to teams that are better than the Jets and have maybe a better chance to win.
Everyone.
How about the, thank you, the Dallas Cowboys and the Bengals. Listen, most people, me included, there's no way the Dallas Cowboys are winning with Cooper Rush against the Bengals, especially because the Bengals were off a loss. They're a Super Bowl team last year. They're going to right the ship quick. Dallas, maybe they're not as good as even the Cowboys think they are. And then all of a sudden, Cooper Rush does something no one expects. They get out to a big lead. And it looks like they're going to run away with the game. The Bengals are just confused on offense. Nobody's blocking Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys look really good. And Cooper managing the game, like we said. You want a backup quarterback not to be the reason you lose and to manage the game. And then give the Bengals credit. Second half's totally different. But what I loved about Cooper Rush, and I printed it out, guys, because this is a kid with only one win under his belt who's now got the season on his shoulders because 0-2 is a death knell. We know that, right? He's at home. The crowd is antsy. All the momentum is on Cincinnati's side. And on the drive to go kick the game-winning field goal, it's a 6-play, 33-yard drive, and it's all Cooper Rush. It's a 8-yard completion to CeeDee Lamb, plus you get defensive line, which got to climb. Then it's a short pass to Noah Brown for 12 yards. Then it's, again, let me find my best player, CeeDee Lamb for another 10 yards. And he got them into a spot by being confident. They called plays for him. The guys got open. He made the tough throws. And I mean, you talk about a guy that everyone thought didn't have a prayer to win a game, who's then the reason they win the game. And you just got to tip your hat to him. The kid played his ass off.
You do. I was surprised to see his performance, just him being steady Eddie. But for me, it was about their defense. It was definitely about Cooper Rush and just the guys stepping up. You're going to have, if you're trying to stay afloat while Dak Prescott is injured and he's on the shelf, so to speak, you have to have multiple guys every single week, not just your bell cows stepping up like the Micah Parsons, the CeeDee Lambs, and all of those guys. But you got to have the Noah Browns stepping up and making plays and being special. You got to have a backup quarterback filling in, being a steady Eddie rider of a ship that can just get it done in the moment like that. Like, give the man his flowers. He got it done when he needed to.
Not just that, it keeps everything alive. Like, you survive another week. Now, they have a Monday night game coming up against the 2-0 Giants. We have plenty of time this week to talk about it, but and this is going to seem like I'm overstating it. I don't think I am. The prospect of being 0-2 for them in that game versus 1-1 is night and day. Because not knowing what the Eagles are going to do tonight, which we'll get to in a second, but, you beat the Giants. Now you're tied with the Giants, right? And it just keeps, keep hope alive, right? I think that's what Cooper Rush did. He quieted all the naysayers. Now you have a lot of positive thoughts. Hey, we won a game nobody thought we were going to win, underdogged in our own building. Mm-hmm. And then you get the news, which I don't know if every Cowboy fan's happy about it, but you certainly should be. And that is, there's a chance. Now, I don't believe it till I see it, but they came out after the game yesterday and said, there's a chance Dak plays Monday night. That the swelling is already down, he's got some motion in the thumb, and they are holding out hope that he may only miss the one game, and they won it. That'd be awesome if you're a Cowboy fan.
Do you want him to? Do you want him to come back early, not ready, or would you rather rush out for Montana?
I'm going to stop you there. If you say not ready, then no. I don't want him playing if he's not ready. But if you told me that on Thursday and Friday this week, he's able to grip a ball and he can throw a ball with the same, speed and power he has to, then, he's your franchise, right?
Yeah,
now, you can run the ball more. The Giants' offense has not looked great yet this year. They've done just enough to win. And I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but the prospect of the Dallas Cowboys going into New York or New Jersey and playing the Giants with Dak Prescott changes everything. They're 1-1, not 0-2, and now Dak's ready to play. I really thought the Dallas Cowboys were like, I got one nail left on the coffin. Mm-hmm. And they've changed the entire narrative of this season, and give Cooper Rush credit.
With one win.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. But my deal was the defense, right? Last year, they led the league in turnovers, interceptions. Could they sustain that? Can they be that stout, just back-breaking defense that they were last year? And the answer right now is, yeah. They've been doing it.
I still think the Cowboys are a sloppy team. I think they commit too many penalties. They hurt themselves when they don't have to. And they've also got, I think, the best defensive player in football. Parsons is just that good. Yeah.
Are they any worse than anyone else in their division is my question.
Well, we're going to find out, I think, next week. I think the Eagles will, what they do tonight will
tell us
have a lot, because the Eagles right now think of themselves, and it's hard to argue it after week one, that they're the team to beat in the NFC East. So if they play their asses off and win tonight, I think they would wear the crown for now. But as great as the Giants' start is, and the Giants are 2-0, and they've won both games, very close games, field goals late to win it, nobody thinks the New York Giants are an unbeatable team or even a very good team. They won 2 games. They also beat Tennessee and Carolina. So let's not, go crazy yet. They didn't beat any world beaters yet.
Whoa.
I know it's coming.
Whoa.
I know it's coming.
Back. Carolina, you have been on this show all over your boy Baker. You love Baker. They're 0-2. They're
You know why? Because they have no idea how to use what they have. They're a bunch of idiots in Carolina. They are. Matt Rule, it's time to go. You've got the greatest quarterback nobody likes, and you're not using him correctly. Plus, guys are dropping balls. McCaffrey's not what he used to be. I feel bad for Baker Mayfield.
It's everybody but Baker.
That's right. That's right. If I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm on the phone with my agent. Get me out of here. Sorry, the Giants beat you? The Giants are 2-0, though.
The Giants beat Baker.
New York's just the best place in the world to be right now if you're a sports fan. Other than perhaps South Beach, you might say Miami is a good place to be. No state income tax. They don't believe in COVID. And they've got a 2-0 football team with a quarterback that I can't figure out why I don't think he's very good. And I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He threw 6 tutties, 6 touchdowns yesterday. And even though a couple of them are to a wide open Tyreek Hill, where the 3 of us probably could have thrown the touchdown pass, boy, Tua's been pretty damn good.
He has been, and for him to have this narrative of this might be it, and can he get it done? We're surrounding him with all the pieces. He's stepping up to the plate, and he's playing his role the right way, the way that they would have hoped he would respond. And for all of what Tyreek Hill said this offseason, Tua throws the prettiest ball. He's the best quarterback. He's the most accurate. All these things, it's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Is there some validity to this? But Tua has been special. Yesterday, he was Alabama-esque.
He was good, yeah. He was beyond good.
He was Alabama.
And what's interesting is that it's really that game. The 2 halves are so disparate. It's crazy. Like, the Ravens were the best offensive football for the first 30 minutes, and Miami looked like they didn't belong on the same field, and Lamar dominated. And then I don't know how this happens or what happened other than Mike McDaniel saying, Tyreek, go deep. Tua hit him, offensive line protect, period, stop. Because the second half was the exact opposite, the mirror image of what took place in the first half. And you mentioned Tyreek Hill. He, of course, had a lot to say about his man after the game.
For all you ain't even got to ask me no question on that. For all the haters out there, man, who saying Tua can't do this, can't be that, I really hope you soon jump on his bandwagon, man, because not only is Coach McDaniels going to need a wheelbarrow, he also going to need Tua going to need a wheelbarrow after the season to tote his money, his boatload of money, and also his cocojones.
Okay, first of all, just for the record, it's not cocojones.
It's also, I love that last little slip-in. Oh, also for this.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's money and cocojones. I don't know. But listen, if I ever needed a hype man, that's going to be my guy.
Bring me Tyreek Hill.
So congrats, Dolphins. It's just awesome down there and off to a great start. And yeah, Tua looks pretty damn good right now. We got 2 games tonight. Let's get into it real quick. Bills, who, of course, been sitting there waiting. I'm not sure if that favors them because it's been 11 days since the Bills played a football game that opening Thursday night against the Rams. They're at home, so the Bills Mafia is going to be crazy. But it's interesting. You do get Tennessee, number 1 seed last year in the AFC, off a bad loss in Week 1 when Bullock missed that field goal that would have beaten the Giants. Can the Titans keep it close? Is that possible? Weather's not an issue.
They can keep it close because you got to believe that Mike Vrabel is going to have this team ready to go after what they did last week. But the Bills are for real.
Yep.
This is a team that is on a mission, and their leader believes he's the best in the business. I believe he's the best in the business, and he has this team rolling. I don't think they drop off with this Buffalo Bills Mafia behind them tonight. There's no way they lose tonight.
I think it's a struggle.
Really?
I think it's a struggle. I think 11 days in between games is a problem. I think scheduling-wise, it doesn't make sense. Thursday night to Monday night, it's also not a time you guys normally play, and most players are creatures of habit. I think that game is a 7:15 Eastern start because there's a second game tonight that starts at 8:30, which is Vikings-Eagles. I'm not saying Tennessee's going to win, but to totally discount Tennessee's ability to win when they can run the ball, if they choose to, I think is a mistake. So I'm not saying Tennessee goes in there and pulls off the upset, but I do think it's a lot closer than what a lot of people think, not named Greg Jennings. And then, yeah, it's weird. So 7:15 Eastern time is the first game. And then for some reason, they're starting the second game tonight while the first game's still being played. It's not even like, all right, East Coast, West Coast. It's Buffalo and Philly, two East Coast teams. It's Minnesota. They're 1-0, of course, in Philly against the Eagles. I don't know how you handicap this game at all. You're talking about two very good teams. I'd make the argument that the Vikings on paper could have the best offense in football. I just don't know about Jalen Hurts. He had a great week one. He's surrounded by weapons. But I do know what the Vikings are. They can run the ball with Dalvin Cook, and they've got the weapons on both sides. I think it's a high-scoring game.
Yeah, it may be a high-scoring affair, but it'll be about the defense. Who can get the most pressure? Can you keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and force him to throw from the pocket? If he can get outside the pocket, that's where he does the most damage. And then when you look on the flip side of the Vikings, their offense is just so high-powered and electric. You got to find a way to slow them down at some point.
And you do have to remember, even though they led big early in their first game of the year against the Lions, and give the Lions some love. They got their first win of the season yesterday as well. The Lions dropped the 30 burger on them anyway in their comeback. So it would be interesting to see the Eagles' defense against what we all agree is a very, very good offense in the Minnesota Vikings, right? So
they're at home. You can be different.
No, I'm not. You know. The Eagles might win tonight. The Eagles might win. I don't. They might win. It's possible. It's on the table.
Do you want them to win?
No, I can't stand it. I hate everything about Philly except for the soft pretzels and the water ice. Outside of that, you bring nothing to the table.
The water ice?
What is water ice?
It's like Italian ices, but looser. That's all. Oh. Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Trust me. We'll go to Philly one day, and we'll talk about how much we hate the people there. But love the pretzels and the ices. Enjoy all the football tonight. Go Jets! And we'll see you tomorrow morning again. Thank you.